been a long time. It's been 13 years. But Monday Night Football is back in Buffalo. And America's team is waiting. The Dallas Cowboys, the undefeated Dallas Cowboys. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Football as we wrap up Week 5 of this 2007 season. It wasn't long ago, back in the 90s, when the Bills were regularly on Monday Night Football, and you weren't talking about them coming off their first win of the year as we get to Week 5. But the Bills haven't been to the playoffs in 7 years. Last time they went to playoffs, the head coach was Wade Phillips, who has taken over the Dallas Cowboys from our colleague Bill Parcells. And if Bill gave him tough love, Wade's giving them a big old cowboy kumbaya. They're all holding hands. They're all really happy about life. They're undefeated, joining New England and Indianapolis. The Patriots await in Irving, Texas for a matchup on Sunday. The question tonight, is Dallas looking there, or they're looking at what's going on here in Orchard Park? Joined by Tony Kornheiser and Ron Jaworski, and like Buffalo and the other teams that are not successful in the NFL, they look at their quarterback spot and say, play's got to get better. Dallas, they're playing great. Their quarterback, Tony Romo, is playing fabulous.
No question. And Tony Romo, the Dallas quarterback, is the constant of the Dallas Cowboys. And that may surprise some people because Tony Romo's only started 14 games in the NFL, his 15th start tonight. And he is unequivocally the leader of the football team. And when you watch Tony Romo play the quarterback position, you see a guy that understands the timing and rhythm of the passing game. But what really separates Tony Romo from a lot of NFL quarterbacks is his ability to extend the play, the ability to make plays outside the pocket. And clearly when he's outside the pocket, he looks for the explosive plays. He throws the football very accurately, eyes downfield.
Opposite number, third-round pick in the past draft, Trent Edwards, rookie out of Stanford, replacing the injured J.P. Lossman. How good was he in beating the Jets his first start last week?
Mike, he was phenomenal. I was blown away watching the game and then studying the coach's tape, watching Trent Edwards. It was very reminiscent of this name, Tom Brady, when he took over Drew Bledsoe years ago. Yeah, the numbers were good from Edwards, 22, 28, 234 yards, a touchdown. But what's most important was the calm with which he played the game, the poise in the pocket, the accurate arm, the quick release. It was an outstanding first start for the young man.
He's good. Maybe things are looking up, but for right now, it's a tough ask for Buffalo tonight.
Absolutely. Let's be honest. Dallas should pound Buffalo like veal. But in the spirit of keeping an audience here, if a few minor things happen, Buffalo might be all right. Like a classic Buffalo snow, buckets of it, a wipeout. Sadly, it's 70 degrees now, so that's done. But look, this is a classic trap game. A good team goes on the road, a heavy favorite against a weak non-conference opponent they have no real animosity for, and they get surprised. Why would Dallas care about Buffalo? Because of hot wings? Buffalo's 1,000 miles away. Look, I went to school in Binghamton, 200 miles away, and I didn't care about Buffalo. Bada boom, hold the applause, Jaws. I will be here all night. Seriously, it's possible Dallas is looking past Buffalo and towards next week's opponent, a really good team, New England. And it's possible Dallas has no clue who Trent Edwards is. I know I don't. I'm sure Dallas has film on Trent Green and Trent Dilfer, but where would they get film on Trent Edwards? He's a rookie. There is no film. It's possible Wade Phillips will get amnesia and think he's still coaching Buffalo. You know, seeing Marv Levy back here could jolt anybody. And of course, it's possible that Tony Romo will go over Niagara Falls in a barrel, like some of your girlfriends did, Jaws, when you broke up with them in Lackawanna High School.
I married my girlfriend.
Jaws is from here. It's been a long week. We're so glad kickoff's coming. Michelle and Susie are on the way momentarily. The All-Tel head-to-head takes us through the two starting quarterbacks. They haven't been at this a long time, but so far, so good. On this warm night to the sideline, Susie Colbert on the rookie carrying it for Buffalo. But first, Michelle Tafoya on the usual lightning rod for the Cowboys. T.O. Michelle.
Yeah, Mike, last season for Terrell Owens was marked by a hamstring injury, an accidental overdose, and an NFL high 15 drop passes. So he spent a lot of time this offseason alone reflecting on all of it and deciding he wanted things to change. And so far this season, Owens has been noticeably quiet. He even seems happy. Last night he told us, I love the new offense, I love Wade Phillips. Owens says he feels involved and wanted, which is all he can ask for. But the Cowboys are 4-0, and it's Happyville in Dallas. If the team's fortunes slide, will T.O.'s temperament slide too? Given his 11-year track record, the Cowboys may be holding their collective breath. Now to Susie with the Bills.
Well, Michelle, Marshawn Lynch may be one of only 2 rookie running backs to get the start in the NFL this season, but you never know what to talk to him. Very unassuming. And talking to his coaches from college to the pros, all agree he shies away from being the star. For Buffalo fans, it's quite a contrast from their previous starter, and where Willis McGahee was clearly not enthralled with playing or living in Buffalo, Lynch has not only embraced it, he moved his mom and little brother here from the West Coast. Now, Lynch is all about family. After touchdowns, he flashes a hand signal that represents family first. And his mom, who's been in the stands since his Pop Warner days, flashes it right back. Mike, the Bills are going to need to see a whole lot of that hand signal tonight.
Nick Folk, the rookie out of Arizona, kicks it to Terrence McGee, all-time top kickoff returner in Bills history.
I don't know who those guys were. That was funny.
They're very funny.
Maybe they do bar mitzvahs or something?
Off we go from Orchard Park. McGee from a couple of yards deep. Nowhere to go. Hemmed in at the 20-yard line by Bobby Carpenter and Sam Hurd. So here comes the quarterback, Trent Edwards. Won the game last week. It was the first time he's won a football game in 98 weeks, or 687 days. Why? He was 0-7 at Stanford before breaking his ankle at the end of the year and out for the rest of that season. Hadn't won since his junior year in college. But Ron came out with a lot of people high on his potential here in the NFL.
No question. He showed that toughness. He played it with a poor offensive line at Stanford, got beat up a little bit. He gets rid of the football and he throws it accurately, Mike.
Opening drive of the night from the 20-yard line. And the first run, Marshawn Lynch into the secondary. 15 yards and Roy Williams tackle. First down. It's a pretty good offensive line. Lynch runs behind.
Yeah, number 71, Jason Peters, having an outstanding season. You can expect to see the Bills run behind him tonight. He has a huge weight advantage over Chris Candy, number 99 for the Dallas Cowboys.
Marshawn Lynch, the first-round draft pick out of Cal. There are his numbers on the season. And Susie alluded to, this is the man replacing Willis McGahee. So we have Stanford and Cal in the starting backfield, both rookies for the Bills. This throw is low and incomplete, intended for Lee Evans. Just to remind you, Edwards is starting because J.P. Lossman, in Game 3, the first play, he was injured by Vince Wilfork of the New England Patriots, a grade 1 knee sprain. Lossman is not going to play, didn't take a snap at all in practice this week. And what happens over the next 3.5 hours may determine who's the quarterback for the Bills after their bye in a couple of weeks, when Lossman might be ready to come back. Second and 10, nobody open. Edwards scrambles. Gain 6. Bumped down by Anthony Spencer, rookie linebacker out of Purdue, and Jim Kelly, Bills quarterback of great decade ago, on the sideline.
I know, Jaws, that you said when you saw what Edwards did in his first start against the Jets was the most impressive start, you said, since Tom Brady. The Jets defense, though, is not the Dallas defense. The Dallas will bring 14 guys if they can, right?
It is Wade Phillips' philosophy on the defensive side of the ball to attack the quarterback. The Jets last week played a coverage scheme. The Cowboys will play an attacking, blitzing scheme. That means Edwards has to read the defense quicker, get the ball out of his hand faster.
3rd and 4, Cowboys 5 defensive backs, Bills 3 receivers. Edwards out of the hands of Marshawn Lynch. The rookie is supposed to have good hands. And Jacques Reeves there in zone coverage. You hear some some Cowboys fans, and there are plenty of them here tonight, cheering as Buffalo will punt.
The one thing you'll see from the Bills tonight, they will try to get the football more to Marshawn Lynch in space in the passing game. That was an attempt to do it right there. The ball was on his hands. He's got to make that catch. The Bills must sustain offense tonight.
Patrick Creighton back deep to receive. Pro Bowl punter Brian Moorman to kick it away. Fake. Moorman. First down.
Okay, how great is that? You're in your first Monday night game in 13 years that you're hosting. The odds are stacked completely against you. It looks like a 3-and-out situation where your quarterback makes one bad throw and your star rookie running back doesn't make the play at another one. You force the punt and you run. That is onions, baby.
Tony, you're right. Bobby April, the special teams coach, one of the best in the National Football League. Great at designing the gimmicks and gadget plays on special teams. He went way down in the playbook for that one.
fourth time Mormon has run for a first down in his 7-year NFL career. He threw for a first down. Remember, Sean Taylor took a shot at him in the Pro Bowl. Take that. Lynch trying to bounce. Nowhere to go. Going to lose a yard. Offensive lineman Derek Dockery introduces us to the rest of the Bills' offense.
Thanks, Mike. Here's the start lineup for the Buffalo Bills. At left tackle, Jason Peters, franchise. At right tackle, Langston Walker, the biggest human being you'll ever see. At tight end, Robert Ross, swagger so right. Then we go back, you better watch out for Lee Evans. He's going deep. Then you got Marshawn, family first, Lynch, and our steady rookie quarterback, Trent Edwards.
Dockery, 50-year out of Texas, is with the Redskins, coming over as a free agent. Lynch, a little wiggle to the right. Hit hard by the big Pro Bowl strong safety, Roy Williams. Gain of 6, and Marcus Spears introduces us to Williams and the rest of the Dallas D.
All right, manning up, my compadres up front, Jay Ratliff. Also C2, Christopher Canty. In the middle, we have Brady James from LSU. Also, DeMarcus Ware, Pro Bowl outside linebacker. In the back, we have Ken Hamlin and Roy the Hitman Williams.
And the Hitman's laid the wood a couple of times. Third down, Anthony Thomas, the 7th-year man out of Michigan, in a lot for pass protection as a running back next to Edwards. Dump to the tight end, Robert Royal. Just gets back to the original line. Kevin Burnett makes the play. So Buffalo gets the boost out of the first down on the fake punt, but does nothing with it, and they'll kick again.
But how great would it be if they ran again? Then it's the last thing anybody in the world would expect, for them to actually run again.
Well, this is the go zone on the football field. Between that 40 and 50-yard line is where coaches are willing to take a gamble. But, Tony, I don't think we'll see it again. I think he'll punt this one and try to put the Cowboys back in the hole.
And this time, Mormon does boot it toward the sideline. Oh, beautiful. One of the best in the league. Dallas takes over at its own 2. Tony Romo on the give. Julius Jones breaks the plane. Loss of a yard. Tackle made by Kyle Williams, the right tackle. So back up is Tony Romo. It has been 50 weeks since he came onto the scene on Monday Night Football, replacing Drew Bledsoe in what was a loss to the Giants, but ended up taking Dallas to the playoffs and has picked up after the botched snap in Seattle in the wild card game with those very impressive 4-week numbers. 2nd and 11. Jones, nothing. 3rd and 11. Right in the middle again, led by Kyle Williams and Larry Triplett out of Washington.
Bill Kohler does a terrific job with the defensive line in Buffalo.
And they've got the 12th man really helping them here. 3rd and 11 from the, let's call it, 2. Romo to throw from his end zone. Has time. Intercepted down the middle. George Wilson. Touchdown, Buffalo! George Wilson, who had played only 3 games coming into this season, a wide receiver when the Bills originally signed him last year, listed as a wide receiver safety preseason, comes up with his first interception and his first National Football League touchdown.
I don't want to say Jaws was excited, Mike, but he punched me twice in the back because the Buffalo Bills, who he thinks can win this game, just went out 6-0.
It's the National Football League. It's Monday night. Anything can happen, Tony.
Ryan Lindell has never missed an extra point. 230 for 230. If not for the Bills ravaged by injuries, George Wilson, who was a wide receiver last year, wouldn't be playing. But he comes in. Dallas backed up to its own 2. Tony Romo throws it down the middle. Wilson, starting his first NFL game at safety, comes up with a pick. Touchdown, Buffalo. The Bills have already tried a fake punt. An electric atmosphere. First Monday night home game in 13 years. 7-0 Bills. Miles Austin, Tyson Thomas back to receive. Taken by Tyson Thompson. Tackled at the 25-yard line by Anthony Hargrove. Here's the touchdown.
Mike, the quarterback and receivers must see the field with the same eyes. You'll see the safeties divide. That is going to leave the middle of the field open. Tony Romo expects his tight end, Jason Witten, to streak down the middle right there. Well, Witten does not see the middle open. He hooks it up, so there's a lack of communication. Romo with the high throw. George Wilson makes the interception. Excellent job from Romo right here. You see the pocket, but they did not see the field clearly, both not being on the same page.
So the Bills had Dallas backed up to their own 2. Come up with the turnover and touchdown. Now breathing room for the Cowboys and Julius Jones. Left side for a couple of yards. Keith Ellison with the touchdown.
One of the things about that interception, we had a meeting the other day, Dante Whitner, the safety, said of George Wilson with some apprehension, he's never played this position before. Pointed out he was a wide receiver last year. Wide receiver served him well because the ball went right into his hands. We'll get to the fact of how many injuries have decimated the Buffalo defense, so you would not have expected that play early.
Possession receiver in college at Arkansas. Flag down as Chris Kelsey busted in. Our referee tonight is Pete Morelli.
Encroachment. Number 90, defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Tony, you alluded to the losses for the Bills. Just go to the offseason. In free agency, losing London Fletcher, Takeo Spikes, and Nate Clemens. The most recognizable names, to be honest, on this Buffalo defense, and best players as well. Then the season starts, and they lose starters in the first couple of weeks. Paul Posluszny, their draft pick out of Penn State, Poe Simpson and Jason Webster in the secondary, and some of the guys who replaced them were injured for Dick Duran's team. So the head coach of the Bills is really dealing with a shorthanded group. On second and a couple, it is Jones hitting the hole for the first down across the 40 and to the 47-yard line before Wilson and John DeGiorgio make the tackle.
To stay with that theme, that's one of the reasons, obviously, Dallas would be heavily favored in this. They have been, that's a plague of injuries and defections on that defense. Every guy on the team you ask, they say, when's it going to stop? They're playing third stringers out there tonight.
Dallas, quick out of the huddle. Romo, first down throw, is intercepted. The route is jumped by Angelo Crowell, and Buffalo has intercepted Romo twice in the first 7 minutes of this game.
Look at this so far. Buffalo with the fake punt, Buffalo with the interception, now 2 of them. Buffalo looks great.
Two interceptions in 87 seconds, and Terrell Owens checking on his quarterback, Tony Romo, keeping his spirits up. It's been a recurring theme for T.O. And Romo only intercepted 3 times in the first 4 games, all Dallas wins this season. 2 in 87 seconds. Now rookie Trent Edwards in the Bills offense back on the field. This is Josh Reed. Stays on his feet for a gain of 6 yards. Williams the tackle. Here's the pick.
All right, you'll see the Buffalo safeties once again divide. They're in their 2 deep shell. That means the middle linebacker, John DeGiorgio, must get to the deep middle. It leaves Angelo Crowell man-to-man on Jason Witten on the stick route. Crowell does a great job of reading Tony Romo's drop. He plants the foot, he drives the route, and makes the interception.
And gives the Bills excellent field position. Roscoe Parrish in at receiver. They'll run to the left and be within a couple of yards of the first down with Marshawn Lynch, the rookie.
I want to make sure that I heard you correctly, that you said Terrell Owens was keeping his spirits up of his quarterback, because that would be the new T.O., wouldn't it? because he loves Romo so much. With another quarterback, he might have been over screaming at him. Would not scream at Tony Romo so far. The world is now upside down, Mike, upside down. 32nd in total defense, and they look great, Buffalo, and T.O. supporting a quarterback.
Third and a couple, and timeout taken by the Bills as the play clock was running down and there was a little confusion. I don't know if it's a miracle just yet. It's a good start for the Bills. It's exactly the script you need when you are a heavy underdog and facing an undefeated team. Dallas has been so impressive in their victories, getting a turnover, making all the smart plays. Buffalo has it at the 36, third and just a couple. And Trent Edwards will hand to Marshawn Lynch, who went airborne and is stopped at the 35. Going to be a yard shy of the first down. And let's see what Buffalo will do on fourth and a full yard.
All right, it's the question for the quarterback. Do you go right here, Jaws?
Well, there's Dick Duran, a former great player in the National Football League of the Detroit Lions. I believe he's going to play to win the football game. I think he's going to go for it.
Ryan Lindell, his kicker, has 50-plus yard ability. Brady James, the linebacker, met Lynch as he went high and stopped him, so now it's 4th and 1.
Reminiscent of LSU on Saturday night. A little bit earlier, though.
Try Lynch again. Not going to get there again. And the Dallas defense comes up with a response. Brady James of LSU makes the play again.
You must win the line of scrimmage in short yardage situations. The Dallas Cowboys dominated the line of scrimmage. They pushed the Buffalo Bills. Big offensive line, the heaviest offensive line in the National Football League. They pushed them backwards. They won the line of scrimmage.
Ken Hamlin joining James on that play.
But it was the right call. You go for it. Because if you believe in momentum and you're Buffalo, you absolutely go for that, and you take a chance at making Dallas nuts because you could score 2 touchdowns early.
Marion Barber, the third, comes in as the lone back behind Romo. 2 possessions, 2 picks. Barber first carry. And Marion the third gets a yard and a half. Crowell the tackle. If you're just joining us, Crowell, part of the storytelling here early on. Buffalo had its very first drive. It was stalling after a first down. And the Pro Bowl punter Brian Mormon gets some nice downfield blocks, including one by Sam Aiken to pick up a first down. The drive stalls, but he goes coffin corner, buries him at the 2. Hidden yardage. Why? 2 runs, gain nothing. Romo throws a pick. George Wilson, former receiver, first started safety, touchdown. Next drive, Romo pick. This is the ensuing drive, 2nd and 8. Some time for Tony. He's high, looking for Terrell Owens, who's caught 19 balls, averaging 19 yards a catch this year. 3rd down.
He's not accurate. He's not anywhere near receivers, George.
No, he is struggling right now with the action, Tony. I agree. And Aaron Schobel, good pressure on him, forced Tony to throw the ball high. You'll see T.O. with man-to-man against Terrence McGee. Little stop route at about 6 yards. The ball just sailing right now on Tony Romo.
Here's a breeze.
You overthrow Owens. He's tall.
He's very tall.
You got to get it up there.
There is a breeze, but it's not a huge impact breeze as you can get late in the year. It's not factoring in the game at all.
Trust me, this is a balmy, breezy day, Mike.
Sure is. Temperature is close to 80 today in Western New York. Watch the play clock. Didn't get it off in time. Delay a game. Interesting look from Buffalo on defense. We'll get it after Pete Morelli's call.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty still. 3rd down.
All right, this is a defense that the Buffalo Bills been working on. Tony, it's called the creep, not named after you, but you'll see it right here. Everybody standing up, trying to break down the blocking schemes of the Dallas Cowboys. It's a very unique look. Everyone standing up to one player with his hand on the ground. They're trying to cause communication breakdown to the Dallas offensive line. They forced him to take a timeout. Tony, the creep worked.
I think it actually was named after me, and I'll take full credit later if it works.
They are still standing.
3rd and 13. Romo checks it down to Marion Barber. Beautiful open field tackle. Jabari Greer, the maligned Buffalo defense, outstanding in the opening quarter.
I
don't know if it's malign. They came in 32nd. I think it was legit.
Once
now
again,
suddenly they're good.
Tony, here's the creep. The only player down with his hand on the ground right there is Aaron Schabel. And you see, it worked once again. Been very effective early, trying to confuse the quarterback as well as the pass protection.
Looks like they're getting ready to play musical chairs, where they're standing up and moving a little.
Bills have a good punt return unit. Matt McBriar had an outstanding kicking year last year. Look at that. What a kick. And it comes down inside the 5. Man alive. 58 yards and down at the 6. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is here, sitting with the president of the Buffalo Bills, Ralph Wilson Jr. Ralph, of course, starting this franchise back in the AFL, part of that original group that did it in 1959. And the commissioner is from Western New York, Jamestown, New York native. Bills run game going nowhere. Lynch is stopped, and here's Susie.
Well, Mike, after the Bills selected Trent Edwards in the 3rd round of the draft this year, Marv Levy got a call from legendary Bill Walsh, and that meant so much, especially to their quarterback coach, Turk Schoner, who played for Walsh at Stanford in the 70s. And he said Walsh was not the kind of guy to hand out accolades very easily, so it truly justified their feeling of wanting to draft Edwards, because, you know, when a player starts falling, you start second-guessing yourself. But if Bill Walsh said he's the guy, he's the guy.
Edwards fell to the 92nd overall pick late in the 3rd round. Here's his pass in his own end zone, only 4 yards to Josh Reed as he's tied up. You know, when Trent Edwards fell, the Bills had a 2nd-round grade on him and really were excited about him, but didn't think he'd be there. And because they had a quarterback, a young quarterback in Lossman, who's just entering now his 4th year, came off his 1st year as a starter, and nobody thought Trent Edwards, off of numbers that weren't eye-popping, would be there because he was impressive to the pro scouts. There he was, and Marv Levy, who's come back to be the general manager of this Bills organization after a Hall of Fame head coaching career, said, let's do it. Let's go get him. Lossman's injury, Edwards the starter. 3rd and 10. Good throw. Roscoe Parrish, 1st down. In front of Jacques Reeves.
Excellent job by Trent Edwards reading the coverage. The Cowboys went with their man-to-man. You'll see this isolation route on the outside, sticks that back foot in the ground and delivers a strike to Roscoe Parrish. You'll see right here the isolation route, basically one-on-one on the outside.
Parrish seeing more time after Peerless Price was injured. A cumulative effect injury that was discovered this week led to surgery on a disc in his neck, and Price, the veteran, is out for the rest of the season. Right back to Parrish with good speed for great open field play by Terrence Newman. Here is Edwards talking about the comments made by Bill Walsh recommending him to the Bills.
It's extremely flattering to see a guy that you see perform and coach at a high level for a long period of time and is in the Hall of Fame and has changed a lot of people's careers and touched so many people's lives, and then to see them come out and speak positively of you is something that is, like I said, really, really flattering, and I was very fortunate to have the relationship I did with him.
The late Bill Walsh was working as an associate athletic director at Stanford as Edwards was playing there. 2nd down pass throw as he was hit. It was high and incomplete. Another rookie, Anthony Spencer, 1st-round pick out of Purdue, with the pressure.
One of the things that Dick Duran said, and he's a defensive guy, not an offensive guy for his whole career, but he said on Edwards, he said he's got a quarterback's demeanor. When you see him standing in practice, he looks like a quarterback. Jaws, players sense that, right? They sense he has the potential to be that guy if he looks like that guy.
No question about it, Tony. The thing that jumped out at me and watched him on the coaching tape was his calmness. The game was slow for him.
Another 3rd and long, another throw from inside his own 20. Check down to the veteran, Anthony Thomas, in the A-train, takes it to the 22. Newman, Kevin Burnett, Roy Williams all there to stop the drive. Just to finish the thought on Edwards and Bill Walsh at Stanford, Bill Walsh, handwritten note to Trent Edwards, meant a lot to him. Trent put it up on his refrigerator and still has it there, keeping it there to remind him of Walsh's comments. As Williams, who made that hit, gingerly flexing that right arm.
I know you suggested he laminate it and not just leave it on the refrigerator where anybody can get to it. You know.
That is one you want to keep forever. Mormon, who's been very good tonight. Fair caught by Creighton at the 30-yard line. This Dallas offense struggling comes on the field, and Terrell Owens will introduce us to the other 10 guys.
Welcome to America's team. Starting with the guys up front, Flozell Adams, right end, Mark Colombo. To protect that guy, number 9, who has an array of weapons, Patrick Creighton, Jason Witten, I need no introduction, T.O. When we're not passing it, we're running it. Julius, Conan Jones, and a guy who has a knack for the end zone, Marion the Barbarian.
Just remember, I need no introduction. I'm T.O.
That's right.
Sounds like Tony.
No, I'm TK.
First and 10, Dallas. Fourth drive. Romo on the outside to Witten, his tight end. Gain of 17 and a first down in front of George Wilson.
Tony Romo's been struggling from the pocket. Hey, make the change. Jason Garrett gets him outside the pocket. Finds Witten with a little easy throw over the middle. Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, sometimes can sense when a quarterback is in rhythm. Romo is a mobile quarterback. Get him outside. Good play call.
3 wide to Marion Barber, the third, the running back. And Barber loses about 1.5 yards. As John McCargo, the first-round pick last year, helps make the stop that should take us to the end of the first quarter. Tony Romo so good at throwing the ball to the right side of the field as he did there a moment ago, and he needed a pass to get him a little bit more comfortable after a 1-for-4, 2-interception start to this first quarter. With Michelle Tafoya, Susie Calver, Ron Jaworski, and Tony Kornheiser. Mike Tirico, glad you're with us for Monday Night Football from Buffalo. The Cowboys scoreless in the first quarter. It has been a trend this season. Dallas, even though they have that fourth most points since 1970 with 151, it hasn't been because of their quick starts. They've eventually taken the lead and mauled people in the second half. This is the second quarter. Romo back to Witten. Gain of 8 yards. A few shy of the first down in front of Keith Ellison, who returns from a high ankle sprain.
That thing you're saying about the scoring, that's the Hearns-Hagler. That's not a good sign. You have to get out there and score a lot on them early, or they will come back like Hagler did against Hearns.
Excellent job by Jason Witten. You saw the quick release. The linebacker right over him, finds a soft spot in that double zone coverage, and Romo finds him, puts it on the numbers, puts the Cowboys in a very, very tough 3rd and 4 situation against a Bill defense that's been very aggressive.
This will be Dallas's first snap tonight in Buffalo territory. And Barber is the back. With 4 receivers to choose from, Romo hit as he throws, but complete for the first down at the 36-yard line to Witten again. Aaron Schobel got there a half second too late for Buffalo.
Aaron Schobel does a nice job of coming underneath and just overpowering Flozell Adams. Gets the hit on Tony Romo as he's throwing the football. But one thing I've recognized about Tony Romo, he can throw from different platforms. He doesn't need that pretty comfortable pocket to complete passes in.
Romo, 4 completions, 3 to Witten. First down with some protection down the middle. Almost intercepted as Jabari Greer, the right quarterback, jumped the route, and John McCargo was the one to take Romo to the turf.
The Dallas offensive line is really struggling now with the stunts up front by the Buffalo Bills. You see constant pressure on Tony Romo, and there's no question, when you got people in your face, you're not going to throw the football accurately. You know Romo can throw the ball accurately. When there's people, whacking you and hitting upside the head, it's very difficult.
We talk about Romo and the ability to throw it when he is on the move or hit. He's being tested in those areas here tonight. Barber bouncing to the outside. Brought down by Terrence McGee. Third and about 5. Before that, Angelo Crowell introduced us to the Bills defense. Glad to be back on Monday Night Football.
13 years in the making. Mike, where you been? Starting lineup for the Buffalo Bills. Bring the smoke off the edges. We got Chris, Bulldog Kelsey. We got Aaron, Sackmaster Schobel. And we got the Beaver chopping wood, Keith Ellison. Off the corners, we got Terrence McGee, game day himself. And off the back edge, we got Dante Whitman, Lil Back.
I've been at ESPN all that time, by the way, but thanks for the check-in, Crowell. Third down, Romo, pressure, throws. T.O. goes up in the air, makes a big play. First down, Dallas. Kelsey hit him. Rear in the secondary hit Owens.
Once again, a terrific job by Tony Romo, buying time in the pocket. You'll see the pressure from Chris Kelsey. He's matched up against Jason Witten, the tight end. He beats him, Romo hanging. Now, this play takes time to develop. T.O. patient off the line, now waiting for the ball. And that's the way to go up and snag the football.
Flag down.
After the completion, we have delay of game number 81, spiking the ball. 5-yard penalty. The result of the play will still be a first down.
That rule brought into the league this year to stop players spiking it after gaining a first down.
Is that a legitimate call? Did that look like a spike to you? We've seen theatrical spikes. Come on. They're after T.O. on that one because it's him.
Are you saying it's personal?
Play action, first down to Romo. Up top, Witten. Oh, what a great job to haul it in for a Cowboy touchdown. Two guys on the same page all season long. Witten, 4 catches on the drive, 4 touchdowns on the season.
Once again, you see the clean release by Jason Witten. You've got to hold him up. Keith Ellison's not going to be able to run down the hole with Jason Witten. Terrific throw by Tony Romo. You get man coverage, you put a linebacker on Jason Witten, this is what's going to happen. 6 points for the Cowboys.
So Dallas brings it down the field, and the rookie Nick Folk, perfect on his 20 extra point attempts all season. We talk about Gonzalez and Gates and all the tight ends around the National Football League. Witten has been great this year. Downtown Buffalo, 11 miles southeast of downtown, is Orchard Park, where Jason Witten has been the only man to move the ball effectively as a Dallas pass catcher. T.O. had to keep the drive alive catch right before the Witten touchdown, but those 4 to Witten key on the drive. Dallas has tied the game at 7, and here's Terrence McGee from the 2. They set up a potential throwback to the other side to Roscoe Parrish. We've been talking about 13 years ago, the last time Monday Night Football was here in Buffalo. Wade Phillips was on the opposite sideline. He wasn't the Bills coach then. He was the Denver Broncos coach. Many stops, but a lot of success for Phillips as a coordinator and a head coach in the regular season. Marshawn Lynch of Buffalo carries for a couple of yards. Of course, Wade Phillips taking over after Bill Parcells, 4 years, rebuilding some toughness and some consistency in the Cowboys, but not getting that elusive playoff victory.
Phillips had to sell himself to the Cowboys when that job became open. And he said he sold himself by saying in his last 6 stops, hired either as a coordinator or a head coach, he took a team that did not make the playoffs the year before and got them in the playoffs that season.
Second down for Trent Edwards, feels the pressure, gets it to Lynch. A good pass receiver at Powell, showing it there as Marshawn Lynch takes it for a first down at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 22 yards.
Outstanding job in the pocket by Trent Edwards. He tried to get the ball downfield off the play-action fake. He could not get Robert Royal down the hole. He checked it down to Marshawn Lynch, and you see the quickness of Lynch. I said it earlier, the Bills want to get the ball in Lynch's hand in space. You could see his quickness.
Pac-10 Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Comes out for a second. Anthony Thomas comes in. First down. And that one came out high, incomplete, intended for Sam Aiken. Here's Susan.
Mike, the game plan tonight, get Marshawn Lynch more involved in the passing game. His head coach at Cal, Jeff Tedford, calls him an incredibly natural receiver. He said he could run routes as well as wide receivers, and he could win any one-on-one matchup. Now, Marshawn played a lot of wide receiver in high school, and guys, maybe like Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas, he could get out there before practice and catch balls with the wide receivers. Certainly worked for Thomas.
It was one of his hallmarks, Susie. Thurman Thomas had 4,500 receiving yards to go with his 12,000 rushing yards. Michael Gaines, the tight end on that side, moved quickly. Was that movement induced by Dallas?
False start, number 86. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
John Anderson, SportsCenter 30 at 30. David Carr will take over there full-time. Tommy John surgery ahead for Jake Delhomme. Edwards pass, Roscoe Parrish, great speed. Look at the moves by Parrish. Seeking blocks, seeking the first down, and he regains it at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 17.
We talk about a gunslinger mentality, throwing the football without knowing the results. That's exactly what Trent Edwards showed right here. Throwing into that tight window, squeezing it in. That is outstanding right there. And then you see Roscoe Parrish in space. This guy's a return guy. He's used to being in space like this, and he's making a play.
Nice move
it's
on
like
Brady
you're
James.
on Hot Wings. You are so revved up. It's like you're on Hot Wings.
I think I pulled a hamstring watching him.
Parrish leading the team in receptions coming into tonight. Toss to Lynch, left side. It's all stacked up with Cowboy bodies there. And Anthony Spencer going to close it down. Anthony Spencer was a defensive lineman in college. Started the first 4 games for Greg Ellis. Remember, Ellis, the veteran, always had his hand down, and Bill Parcells wanted to move him to a 3-4 outside linebacker. Did last year, but then Ellis injured his Achilles. He just came back into the lineup last week. He's playing a little bit tonight, but Spencer, the rookie, has taken the opportunity and has grown from it.
Yeah, and the Cowboys moved up in the draft to get Anthony Spencer. He's one of those tweener guys. He can play linebacker, defensive end, very active.
26th pick of round 1. Second and 11. And Edwards' throw out on time is complete for the first down to Lee Evans in front of Terrence Newman. Ron, that's one of those out before the break throws.
Once again, terrific timing. And we opened the show with his sense of timing and rhythm for the passing game. But first of all, Mike, he read the coverage. He knew he had the isolation route to the outside. Once that safety goes to deep center field, now it's all about the throw. Make the accurate throw to the outside away from the defense. Edwards looking very sharp on this drive.
First catch for Evans, 12 yards. Nice drive here. Best drive of the night for Buffalo at the Dallas 30. Edwards pressured. Able to stay up for a moment. I don't know how, but then the combination of DeMarcus Ware and Spencer meeting at the quarterback. They beat Langston Walker, the right tackle, who was paid $25 million to come over as a free agent. And a variety of players will get credit for the sack.
And that's what Edwards has to look at all night. Wade Phillips said the other day, certainly a rookie QB has to prove he can make some of the throws under duress that a veteran can. They're going to show him that. After he completes passes, like on the previous play, they're going to come at him as hard as they can.
As DeMarcus Ware told us last night, bring the kitchen sink.
That's right.
Lynch. Right side through the first hole. Got most of the sack yardage back. He's going to put Buffalo in a third at about 7. Brady James, top tackler on this team, brought him down.
But as long as we're talking about Edwards, Jaws, and how good he has looked, there is no particular allegiance to J.P. Lossman in this community. He was brought in by another coach and another administration. The writers in Buffalo have already sort of attached themselves to Edwards, and they say that this job can be his if he just doesn't lay an egg in a game like tonight.
Yeah, and I think we got to be careful because J.P. Lossman was playing well.
Yes.
It wasn't like he was playing poorly. I think the consensus of the Buffalo Bills coaches were that he was playing well. But right now you got a guy playing better.
Dwayne Wright was the fullback. Buffalo had a lot of movement with different personnel package and confused themselves. Timeout Bills. 3rd and 8 when we come back. Back in Buffalo, all tied at 7 apiece halfway through the 2nd quarter. Trent Edwards, making his 2nd NFL start, has looked poised on this drive, facing a 3rd and 8. And his throw is complete to Marshawn Lynch for the 1st down into the red zone at the 19. That's some of what Susie was talking about, the receiving by Lynch. Trent Edwards taken 6th among quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Jamarcus Russell, as we know, held out for a long time. Brady Quinn, his holdout, holding him back in Cleveland. Kevin Cobb is the only one of this group who's been on the field for some mop-up snaps. John Beck in Miami goes to the backup. Trent Green injured. Cleo Lemon, the number 2. Drew Stanton in Detroit, injured reserve from the preseason, will not play this year. Edwards the 1st on the field and the 1st to make an impact of his draft class. From the red zone, play action. And the tight end, Robert Royal, rumbling to the 10, gain of 9.
Okay, we saw last year Tony Romo come in a Monday night situation and never look back, establish himself as a Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback. This is the potential star-is-born circumstance for Trent Edwards. He's the 1st of his class of all those quarterbacks, as you mentioned, to start, the only one to start, and he's more surprised than anyone that it hasn't been Jamarcus Russell or Brady Quinn. He comes in against the Jets, and he has a great game, over 230 yards and 75% completions, and he looks good right now. Hello, America, I'm Trent Edwards.
Buffalo scored on an interception thrown by Tony Romo. The Cowboys scored on their last drive. Buffalo's drive right now, their best response since. 1st down run from Marshawn Lynch, and Brad Butler, the right guard, asking off the field as he hurt that right hip area. So Butler, the 2nd-year man out of Virginia, making his 5th career start, comes out for the Bills. 1st and goal, Bills.
And Jim McAnally handles that offensive line for the Buffalo Bills, one of the best in the business. Had a chance to talk to Jim out at practice on Saturday, and he thinks his offensive line is starting to come together. And we all know you got to have those grunts down in the trenches to get the job done.
Duke Preston, 75, who lost his job to Butler in the preseason, is now in on 1st and goal. And Edwards throws to Roscoe Parrish. That water bug with speed is met with a hard hit by former 1st-round pick Terrence Newman. Newman missed the first 2 games of this year with the torn plantar fascia, partially torn, in his right foot. And he's in there tonight because Anthony Henry, who had 4 picks to lead the Cowboys this year, had a high sprain of the right ankle against St. Louis last week.
I love the way you say Newman. You've been watching Seinfeld, haven't you?
I did watch the Seinfeld.
Yes, you can tell. Newman, very good.
5 games, not a lot of visits to the red zone, but when they get there, Buffalo has been able to put up points.
Well, this is a big possession for the Buffalo Bills here. They need to punch in. They need to come out of this possession with points.
2nd and goal, Lynch running right and going nowhere. Brady James again, along with Jay Ratliff. Ratliff an active nose tackle. Well, a 3rd and goal coming up.
Nick Geron doesn't show much on his face, does he? You hardly ever know what he's thinking. Look at that, Jaws. It's the same expression he's had all game.
Never does.
Wow.
Yaley,
Very, very intense.
Yaley, former Chicago Bears coach, was the NFL Coach of the Year in 2001. Will they put him in the air on 3rd and goal?
I think they need to move Trent a little bit.
Play action, complete, but gains can only gain about a yard. One more time, we call Brady James' name, and the Buffalo field goal unit comes on.
It may not look like much, but you know what? He didn't force a throw in the end zone, didn't turn the football over. Give your offense, give your team a chance to come away with points. You'll see the play action fake. You'll see the Dallas Cowboys defending the end line. Take the check down. Hopefully come out of this with 3 points if you're a Bills fan.
Lindell only missed 2 field goals last year. Very accurate Buffalo kicker. Has an extra point already tonight. And that field goal gives Buffalo the lead and moves Lindell to 5th on the all-time Bills scoring list past O.J. Simpson. 10-7 Buffalo. A lot of memories of the glory days of Buffalo football all around Ralph Wilson Stadium, the more modern glory days of the 90s with Marv Levy led with Ken Ho and all those guys. Jaws, welcome back. It was a great shot of Jim Kelly watching Trent Edwards and with a comment to him as he came off the field. Of course, the other glory days of the Bills go back to the 60s. The Kelly days in the 90s went back to the 1960s. And those are the uniforms that the Bills are wearing here tonight. They're throwbacks back to the 65 championship when they played in the Rock Pile, Old War Memorial Stadium downtown. Tyson Thompson for the Cowboys. At the 22-yard line, the tackle by Leon Joe. Back to the touchdown last drive.
You'll see Jason Witten lined up here, and he's going to get the football right there because the Bills only had 3 defensive backs on the field, a 4-4-3 dictated by Jason Garrett. Excellent throw when you get a great receiving tight end like Jason matched up against the linebacker. He's going to win.
And you see the numbers on those first 3 drives compared to the last drive. This drive is going to start a little farther back because of a push in the back penalty on the Cowboys. That Romo start, personal foul, I beg your pardon, on the Cowboys. That Romo start, he threw his first 2 pass attempts for interception. The last starter to open a game with 2 interceptions, back-to-back, first 2 attempts. Tommy Maddox against Dallas 15 years ago in '92. Wow. So this is like a decade and a half long bad start. But they came back for it on the last drive, 70 yards in the Witten touchdown. First and 10, but 89 yards to go. Deflected in the air and caught for the touchdown by Chris Kelsey. Unbelievable! The defensive captain's 3rd interception. First National Football League touchdown. Third interception by Romo, who had thrown 3 interceptions in the first 4 games. Think they're having fun in Buffalo tonight? Bills 17-7.
That's absolutely the right word. Unbelievable. They come into this game ranked 32nd on defense. There's a defensive play that'll help that average. It'll also help your offensive average where they were ranked 31st. They got 17 points. They average 10 points a game. They've got 17 right here, and this crowd is as intense as any we have seen.
And their defense has 2 of them, and there the mobility of Tony Romo hurt him. He drifted in the pocket. He moved outside of the block of Mark Colombo into the lane where Chris Kelsey was. Obviously batted the ball and made a great interception. Sometimes mobility can hurt you.
And remember what Chris Kelsey told us? He said, watching Romo, is like, I'm going to wait a second. This crowd's too good. I'll let you enjoy the crowd. Hang on a second.
I can't believe Jaws hasn't put that Bills jersey on yet. I know he's got one.
Long way to go.
Kelsey told us, playing Romo's like playing Favre. And the one thing you have to do is stay down. Don't jump up for those pump fakes. So he said, I really don't want to be on film Tuesday morning having jumped up. That time he jumped up, but guess what? It paid off. It'll be fun to watch that film when they go back and see it. 17-7 Buffalo. Thompson, no return. Michelle Tafoya on the sideline.
Well, guys, Bill Parcells is still part of this team. He gave Tony Romo some 10 commandments, and one of them is, if you throw 3 interceptions, can you still get back in the huddle, look all your teammates in the eye, and have them believe in and follow you and still be their leader? Well, let me tell you, he came off the field after that last interception looking incredibly demoralized. Those 10 commandments are going to be put to the test right now. At least that one is, Mike.
And Michelle, I hope everyone was with us on Monday Night Countdown. Parcells went through all 10 of those commandments, and it was a joy to watch. And Tony still has them in his locker. First down run, Julius Jones. Pulled down by the arm of Keith Ellison, who, as we said, had a high ankle sprain against Detroit last preseason game. This is first action of the year. So Romo has thrown 3 picks, tying a career high. He did that the Monday night game where he replaced Drew Bledsoe against the Giants. Had a little bit of success, but was not able to bring the Cowboys back in that one.
And Edwards very efficient, 13 of 17, 94 yards, 0 turnovers.
2nd and 6. Caught by the fullback, Deion Anderson out of UConn. Dante Whitner knocks him out. 3rd and a couple. What's Romo's night been like, Jaws?
He has really struggled this evening, Mike. You know, the first interception, there was a lack of communication with Jason Whitney. Overthrows him, taken back to the house by George Wilson. Here, Angelo Crowell does a great job of reading the eyes. And what can you say about Chris Kelsay? He timed his jump, Mike, and got the interception.
We asked him if he felt he could stop and not jump, and he said no.
No.
He said no, and it worked out.
3rd and 3. Jones, the running back, T.O. top of the screen. Romo looking the other way. Another interception. Jabari Greer circling back for blocks at the 42-yard line. Interception 4. Jabari Greer's 2nd career interception. First one last week against the Jets.
Tony Romo late to the sideline, trying to get the out route, but you can see Greer does a terrific job of reading the route. That's the key. Read the route, understand what the quarterback is trying to do.
Will they ever take a shot deep after one of these picks? Coverage, and it comes back to Michael Gaines, the tight end. Wrapped up and brought down by Brady James, who's had a great first half. Lexus halftime show coming up. Chris Berman, Stuart Scott, fastest 3 minutes. Tony and Mike FPTI. What a lonely feeling that must be, Jaws.
Oh boy, you can feel for him right now.
He's thrown 4 picks. Edwards has hit his last 7. Puts one up, and it's caught by the tight end. Robert Royal to the 11-yard line. A flag down, back by the quarterback.
Holding. Number 66, offense. 10-yard penalty still. 2nd down.
That's Derek Dockery, the 7-year contract, $49 million free agent.
There you see Derek Dockery right there, the left guard. Boy, but great poise by Trent Edwards. Once again, you'll see the pressure coming in. Oh, he takes a wicked shot.
Brady James, the wicked shot. Stephen Bowen, the free agent out of Hofstra in the 2nd round last year. Marcus Colston's classmate at Hofstra. He came in with the big-time pressure that forced the holding flag and negated what would have had the Bills down at the 11. Second and 15. Dallas puts more pass rushers to the near side. Edwards uses the shoulders to fake. Gets to Royal. Brought down in the open field by Jock Reeves. So Romo with the 4 interceptions in the first half. First NFL quarterback to do it since Kyle Orton, the Bears. That was in 05 against the Bengals. And it's the first Dallas quarterback to do it since for 4 picks. Troy Aikman, 2000.
Well, there's no question Romo's psyche will be tested when he comes back for the second half.
And they're going to run out of football. We've got 4 interception footballs in here. Everybody's going to keep them as souvenirs from their Monday night moment.
Got a whole bag full over there.
Well, will it be ones that they'll display and remember a Bills upset victory? So a lot of time to deal with for that.
Long way to go.
Took the clock all the way down and will burn the timeout. That is Buffalo's last timeout of this first half.
Incredible poise by Trent Edwards. You know, he knew he was going to use the timeout. He burned as much clock as he could.
So as this quarterback comes to the sideline, Susie standing by with another Bills quarterback great of the past.
Well, the Bills haven't had stability at quarterback since Jim Kelly was the quarterback for 11 years. Well, what do you think of the performance tonight?
I'm in awe. I really am. Bottom line is we got to make the play you have to make it. Bills have done it, except for that one. And of course, Dallas turned it into a touchdown. You can tell I'm losing my voice, but so far so good. But I think they all know that Dallas is a second-half team. We just have to keep focused, knowing it's a 3-hour game.
Quarterback to quarterback. This is a rookie out here. What do you think of the poise?
Well, I'm impressed because he's going with his throws at the right time. He takes his 5-step drops. He's getting rid of the ball. Dallas has a pretty good defensive line. They just have to continue to do the quick hit plays and not have him sit back in the pocket and let Dallas come after him.
Thanks, Jim.
My pleasure, Sis.
Thank you. It's good to visit with Jim today at our Monday Night Football luncheon here in Buffalo. With a timeout taken by Dallas on their sideline, as there was a little confusion after Buffalo came out. We mentioned Jim Kelly while we have a second. Jim's Hunter's Hope Foundation for his late son, Hunter, who has Krabbe's disease and passed away a couple of years ago, has done an amazing job around the country with getting treatment and testing for youngsters at an early age. Jim's very active and a great part of this community.
No question.
Yep.
Wonderful guy.
Good to see him. Let's go back to Trent Edwards and what he has done in terms of where he's throwing the ball here tonight.
You know, Jim Kelly mentioned that 5-step drop, and that's exactly what Trent Edwards is doing. You see the big number, 15 and 19, but 12 of 16. That's the control game right there. That's possession game. Then 2 for 2 when you go a little deeper, and 1 for 1 down the field. But that 12 for 16, 65 yards, that 5-step drop, keep the chain moving. If you can't get the ball down the field, check it down to Marshawn Lynch, check it down to Robert Royal, check it down to Michael Gaines. Sustain offense. Right now, Trent Edwards is doing an outstanding job of controlling the Bills' offense.
Veteran Anthony Thomas is the running back next to him to help protect on third down. This throw is caught by Parrish, who cannot shake free from Patrick Watkins. And the spot there, let's see, it's at the 36. A field goal attempt would be 53 yards if they choose to try it. But instead, Mormon, the punter, is coming on. And Lindell, he's the holder. Lindell is walking out there. Let's see what Buffalo's going to do. First, a timeout taken by Dallas, so Dick Geron will have a chance to think about it. Mormon, the punter, is also the holder, so Lindell, the kicker, was kind of on the edge of the field. We'll see what happens after this timeout by Dallas. 54-yard attempt for Lindell would tie his career long. Leaked right, no good. So he had the distance, but missed it to the right, and Dallas will have good field position with 36 seconds remaining and 1 timeout. If you're just tuning in, here are the big plays from the first half. Brian Mormon, a fake punt after Buffalo picked up 1 first down on its first drive, kept the drive alive, and then Mormon kicked it out of bounds to 2. Those hidden yards put the Cowboys back, and on the third play, after 2 runs, gained no yards. Former receiver turned starting safety George Wilson, a pick 6, 7-0. Then, after Dallas got it to 7-7, Buffalo kicked a field goal, and that deflection and catch for touchdown by Chris Kelsey made it 17-7. That's where we stand. 36 seconds of the timeout, and an inside handoff to Julius Jones, who is stopped inbounds at the 49. What a play by Terrence McGee, keeping him inbounds and forcing the Cowboys to take their final timeout with 25 seconds remaining in the half. And while we have a second, let's go down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, you guys talked about how lonely it is to be Tony Romo on that bench, but I will say everyone from the wide receivers coach to Terrell Owens to all the wide receivers to center Andre Garrard all came over to him during the last time that he was sitting there feeling demoralized and trying to cheer him up. I will say this, for the first time tonight, from my observation, Brad Johnson, the backup quarterback, took his earpiece and communication set off and put his helmet on. Don't know what it means, just an observation.
Brad Johnson, the veteran, 14 starts with Minnesota last year, winner of Super Bowl 37 with Tampa Bay over Oakland. Ron, have you ever thrown 4 picks in a game?
In a game, yes, never have. Wow, yeah, it's tough to recover from. Like I said, I think Tony's going to be challenged this second half, and you know, right now they're still in a position at least get a field goal out of this drive, so he's going to have to make a play. He's going to have to stick one in. He's going to have to get the confidence back, Mike.
By the way, 4 times in your career you threw 4 picks.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
Sorry.
A game, not a half.
Second down. Romo's got time. He's got nobody open. Tio adjusts to the route and almost able to complete it. It's incomplete. Terrell Owens played in the West Coast offense in San Francisco and in Philadelphia. One thing he did very well during that time, working with a scrambling quarterback, the ability to keep plays alive. He almost did here.
Yeah, and here he does here. You'll see Greer jump the route, but T.O. sees Romo move out of the pocket. He takes it up down the sideline. Romo just throws it too far wide, out of bounds.
And you saw in the live play, Romo made the hand signal to T.O. and he read it and broke. Because there was no safety back on this side.
Yeah, there are rules, scramble rules. When the quarterback gets out of the pocket, there are certain areas of the field that the wide receivers must get to.
This is 3rd down and 5. Romo's hit as he throws. Great grab by Sam Hurd into field goal range at the 30, but they have no timeouts. They're going to need to kill the clock. It's going to be tight. Dallas getting in position and killing the clock with 3 seconds remaining. What a terrific job by all the players, because bodies were everywhere after that play broke down.
And a gutsy throw by Tony Romo. The pressure was on. He had to lay it down the middle of the field to Sam Hurd. It was tough. It was a tough throw. It was into a crowd. You'll see it right here. The pressure comes on Tony Romo. Steps up in the pocket, and this just lays it out there. And boy, it's like dropping that 50 cents in the toll booth. You know, just got to drop it in there nice and easy, and he did.
Nick Folk, rookie kicker from 47. At the back end of the half, what a big completion by the Cowboys. A half where Buffalo had all the momentum. Dallas gets a little bit heading to the locker room, and they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Pretty good half. The old Bills coach, Wade Phillips. You need this one? Absolutely. We got one here in Buffalo at the half. Bills 17. Cowboys get the ball to start the 3rd. They have 10. Well, this already excited crowd at halftime, a chance to cheer as the great Thurman Thomas was presented with his Hall of Fame ring, an inductee this past August.
I got my ring. I got my bus. I got my jacket. And you know what? I'm the happiest man on earth. Thank you.
Thurman Thomas, 87 touchdowns, over 12,000 rushing yards, 4,500 receiving yards. Had a chance to visit with Thurman this afternoon here in Buffalo. He has moved back to this area, and the fans, many of them stayed in their seats through halftime to honor a guy who brought them to their feet so often in the 90s on very cold days here in Orchard Park.
I thought he said, I got my bus. And I was wondering if he got a bus like I got a bus. Then I saw it was a bus, so I felt better about that.
With a T.
To help honor all the Hall of Fame inductees from Bills history, Joe Horgan and the guys from the Hall of Fame brought all of the Buffalo Bills Hall of Fame busts. Nice. They were on display downtown today.
Nice. That was very cool.
17-10. Dallas scored on the last possession of the first half. They get the ball to start this 3rd quarter of play, and Tyson Thompson with the return. Good tackle by Mario Hagan. He's had a linebacker start because of the injuries back inside the 20. Well, the numbers from the first half, the Dallas Cowboys turning it over 4 times. That's the big story, turning into 14 Buffalo points. The difference in this game, but perhaps, Ron, the other story is that Buffalo, 101 passing yards, and that's the rookie Trent Edwards in his 2nd start.
And he has managed the game very well. It is kind of surprising that this is only a 7-point game. You normally turn the ball over 4 times and your opponent turns it over 0. You're behind by a lot more than 7.
Saw George Wilson a second ago. He had the interception on the first drive of the game for Dallas. That turned into a Buffalo touchdown. They're showing a lot of looks up front. There's been no room to run. Julius Jones pulled down by John McCargo. Loss of yards. Here's Michelle Tafoya.
Mike, it's an unusual scene here in Buffalo in that both teams enter and exit their locker rooms through the same tunnel. So after halftime, Tony Romo came out of the locker room through the tunnel surrounded by Bills. But there was one teammate by his side, and that was Terrell Owens. Now, Wade Phillips told me they just need to settle Romo down in his 2nd half. He assures me he'll be just fine. Mike?
Terrell Owens, the barometer, even, steady.
It's Florence Nightingale.
On 2nd and 10, Romo complete to Jason Witten. What a big drive earlier in the half. John DeGiorgio, who plays middle linebacker for Paul Puslesny, who broke an arm and is out for the rest of the season. Puslesny, the rookie out of Penn State. The Cowboys stars and what they have done here tonight. Romo's completed half his passes. Thrown to T.O. 4 times, only 1 catch that kept the drive alive. Witten, the big man on the drive that led to Dallas's lone touchdown that in the 2nd quarter.
And the Cowboys do a real nice job of attacking the middle of the field. Jason Witten so far tonight has been outstanding in that area.
This is third down. Julius Jones, the deep back. They'll give it to Jones, and in that 3 wide set, he's never down. His knee never came down. The contact was with his fellow teammate Leonard Davis, and Dallas will move the chains. Here's Susie Colbert.
Well, Mike, everybody wrote this Buffalo defense off. 32nd in the NFL against the #1 offense, and then all the injuries. But Dick Duron said at the half, we like our defense, and they've worked so hard. Hey, but Coach, 4 interceptions, 2 for touchdowns. He actually didn't seem surprised. He still believes they left more plays and more points on the field. He's certainly aware that the Cowboys are a great second-half team. To that, a simple statement: we need to just keep playing. Guys, if only it were that simple.
It's not, that's for sure. This Cowboy team, as has mentioned, has been explosive here in the second half. Now, we had a whistle blown. I'm not sure if Buffalo is challenging that play with Julius Jones. I thought there's the contact by a Bill. The knee does come down there, so that would be a play stopped there. The question is, where was that in relation to the first down mark? It was only 3rd and 2. Challenging the spot on a play is a reviewable item, and Pete Morelli is discussing the options with Dick Duron here if there's going to be a challenge or not.
I believe he did get the first down, even though the knee touchdown, it was beyond the first down yardage necessary.
You see Duron's record there with the Bills. I mentioned earlier he was the head coach of the Bears, and then briefly for the Lions, cleaning up the Marty Morningwood
era. Ruling on the field that the runner was down by contact prior to where we spotted the ball.
Hey, Mike, I think back to that Seattle game a year ago, Dallas against Seattle in the playoffs, and there were a lot of injuries in that Seattle secondary, much like the Bills secondary, and that defense played very well in Seattle a year ago.
30 miles north of Ralph Wilson Stadium in Orchard Park, Niagara Falls, one of the great sights. Pete Morelli, our official, sent for the replay result as we had the play challenged by the Bills.
After reviewing the play, the challenge was the runner was down by contact, which he was down by contact at the 28-yard line. Still, Dallas first down, and Buffalo will not be charged a timeout.
So no timeout is charged. Even though the result of the play is not what the Bills had hoped, it becomes a Dallas first down. The ruling on the field does overturn, or the ruling by replay overturns the call on the field. Therefore, no timeout. Buffalo has 1 challenge left, but if that's successful, they would earn a 3rd one.
Well, they gained some yards on that.
Yes, and they saved about 5 yards or so.
Sure.
Good, Tony. You were paying attention.
Well, I try. I missed a little at the end of the first half to do PTI, and now I'm back and ready.
That was very good for you, Tony.
By the way,
did you stretch out?
Niagara Falls?
Yep.
It was so beautiful to go to Niagara Falls. It was. You know, it's still rolling. You know, hundreds of years, thousands of years, and it's still rolling. It's still going over the side like that. It's fabulous to look at.
I'm glad you appreciate that. You know, West New York has gotten a bad rap for a number of years. You know, I
you're
grew up
talking
here.
to a guy from Binghamton and a guy
I know,
from
but I grew up here. There's wonderful people. There's wonderful sights. You know, we've had a good time here all weekend, and it was 84 degrees today. What else could you want? I took care of that for you, Tony.
Ron Jaworski, the Polish rifle. Mikey, you knew him at Lackawanna High School. That was the potential he always showed.
That was good. Thank you.
It's been a very difficult week for us. We've enjoyed Buffalo, but it's time to get Jaws out of here. We've got everybody from Jaws Pass showing up this week. Romo throwing deep for T.O. Incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Terrence McGee.
I just want to go back to something if I could. And the fact of the matter is that the Buffalo defense had earned being bad for a while, but maybe Dallas, as we see Terrell Owens try and get this ball, maybe Dallas, because of who they've played, maybe some of their statistics, Jaws, are inflated. The combined record of their opponents is 5-15.
You know what's surprising to me? The Buffalo Bills secondary is not afraid. Terrence McGee lines up in that press formation, not worried about T.O. running by him. They're playing with confidence.
On 2nd and 10, Julius Jones to the right side. DeGiorgio could not bring him down. Aaron Schobel able to do it. along with Dante Whitner.
You know, Mike, I spoke about, the fear factor. The Buffalo secondary is not afraid. Here you see Jabari Greer just running with him. Once again, Greer gets on that hip, covers T.O. Here's Terrence McGee. Once again, not worried. He's covering T.O. And here the high throw from Romo where T.O. may have been open. Right now, the passing game for the Dallas Cowboys is out of sync. Give some credit to the Buffalo Bills for that.
Third and 2. A little short pass to Patrick Creighton, the star last week against St. Louis. First down. First catch for Creighton. It's a 7-yarder. Against the Rams last week, 7 catches, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, all career highs.
Once again, a nice play call by Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator. Roll Tony Romo out. He throws very accurately on the move. Easy first down to Patrick Creighton.
You mentioned Garrett, the offensive coordinator, the first hire by Jerry Jones after Bill Parcells retired. Many thought Garrett might be the head coach as the search before Wade Phillips went on. There to Witten. 3 Bills converge, too late. 12 yards, first down.
The beauty of this Dallas Cowboy passing game is they stretch the field sideline to sideline. You'll see the pass distribution right here. This is where Romo throws the football. Look at these numbers. As a defense, you can't say, let's shut down one area and we'll be okay. To the right side, and look at those numbers. 15 to 27, and there is the big number right there. 6 touchdown passes to that right sideline.
Julius Jones almost lost the ball on the way down, able to hang on to it and gain about 1.5 yards. We'll have 2nd and 8 coming up. And Ron, what does that do, that ability of Romo to spread the ball the way he does to those 5 quadrants across the field going left to right?
You know, all offenses get a stereotype of what they like to do. When you look at this Dallas offense, you can't say, let's defend one area of the field. You have to defend it horizontally, sideline to sideline, and vertically to the back of the end zone.
Thank you. 5 areas. They can't be quadrants, else it'd be 4. Stupid. T.O. a drop. Drop's a problem for Terrell Owens, as many as anyone in the National Football League last year. And he's about to drop a game this year. 3rd down.
Well, he took his eyes off the football as he saw Jabari Greer zeroing in on him.
I still want to find out about that 5th quadrant.
Quintrant.
What'd I say? I got so excited in the passing game.
You were fine.
Okay.
I was wrong. Any mistakes this week? Your mistakes. T.O.'s been thrown to 6 times. He only has 1 catch. 3rd and 8. Romo. Good throwing on the run. Locates Creighton. Beautiful move to hurdle a tackler. And Creighton down the sideline. First down at the 13-yard line.
Here's the situation with Romo. He had the half to think about everything that went wrong. He's had bad times before. At the end of last year, in the last 5 games of the regular season, Tony Romo fumbled the ball 7 times, though didn't lose all 7, and was intercepted 8 different times. He came back from that to have a great start this year. Give him a little time off, right, in the locker room. Maybe he comes back fresher. They're only down 1 touchdown, and he's had 4 picks.
Jumped over Terrence McGee, threw it to his favorite area, that right side of the field. Julius Jones gains just 1 yard. And back to the point that Ron made about Romo's ability, and the pass rush forced it there. There was an open lane, and the receiver Creighton keeps coming across. He's so comfortable making those throws on the move, and it looks very natural and adds such a dynamic aspect to Jason Garrett's offense.
Yeah, and I always use the term that accuracy is the most overlooked aspect of playing the quarterback position. Tony Romo, for the most part, except some of those throws in the first half, has outstanding accuracy, but he is particularly accurate when he is on the move.
Sam Hurd is the 3rd receiver. This is the drive to start the 3rd quarter for Dallas, trying to even the game. Romo, shoulders to the left, throw to the right, to Hurd. McGee broke it up. 3rd down.
Terrence McGee does a terrific job. You'll see him singled up here, the isolation route on Sam Hurd. Great throw by Romo, high into the outside. It looks like Hurd's going to come up the ball, but McGee punches that ball out and he's coming down. These are drills, Tony, you work on every day in practice. You see that football, bang it out. Don't let him hold on to it.
32nd in passing defense, but not 32nd tonight.
They can get a first down at the 2.
The Bills go in their creep defense as The Cowboys spread it out.
Everybody standing up as Romo throws. Knocked away by John DeGiorgio, the middle linebacker. 4th down field goal attempt coming.
They haven't done this all year, Buffalo. They haven't stopped people from getting touchdowns all year. They've been the easiest team in the league to have sustained drives against.
Great awareness by DeGiorgio there. He understood Jason Witten in this situation's going to be the go-to guy for Tony Romo. He drove the route beautifully.
He's making his 2nd career start. He replaces Paul Posluszny, who was injured. He backed up London Fletcher last year. Guys are playing over their head tonight. Nick Folk, good from 47, this from 29. Ooh, nearly blocked. Dallas has scored field goals on back-to-back drives, sandwiching halftime to make a 10-point lead 4. Welcome back, you son of a bum. Son of Bum Phillips. O.A. Bum Phillips. That's Wade Phillips' dad. And as he said, he's worked for Hall of Fame coaches. He's the Marty Schottenheimer of that level. Marv Levy, he brings to mind. Marv was in the Hall of Fame, but he said, and then my Hall of Fame coach, my dad. Terrence McGee, the return. A good kick return. McGee hit the opening. McGee has the kicker to beat. He's past him. Being chased down by Sam Hurd. Will not catch him. Touchdown, Buffalo! For Terrence McGee, his 5th kickoff return for touchdown, all in the last 4 years, all since Bobby April became the special teams coach in Buffalo. It is officially 103 yards. Ryan Lindell adds the extra point. Every set of fans is terrific in their own way when their team plays well and when they have a special night going on. These fans have been great all night, and they are feeding off their team and vice versa. They've been on their feet after Terrence McGee gets us the 2nd 100-plus yard kickoff return of the year. Remember Ellis Hobbs against the Jets, the NFL record 108-yard kickoff return for a touchdown a couple of weeks ago. That one 103, and now Tyson Thompson tries to respond for Dallas. Tackle by Mario Hagan. Jaws, key block on this big touchdown run.
The kickoff return is the first play of a series. It's basically an ISO lead. Watch the block right here by Anthony Thomas. That springs Terrence McGee. It's a running play. It's a lead play that goes to the house.
Mention Anthony Thomas, who played for the Cowboys in 05, a phenomenal running back in his college days. And there's Bobby April, the special teams coach. What a night his special teams have had. A fake punt. They're going to get a they have get-back coaches who keep the players back. When the special teams coach needs a get-back coach, you know he's into it.
Yeah, you're having a good night.
And he's one of the best in the league. Dallas's offense back on the field. Field goal, last 2 drives. Romo to Anthony Fasano, 2nd-year tight end. Flag comes down as Jeremy Butler was trying to make the tackle. I think he got a little bit of the former Notre Damer's face mask. It could be a 5-yarder, not a 15. I don't think it was with intent.
Personal foul.
Oh, it was big time.
Face mask by the tackler. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It's Butler, who was cut by the Redskins in preseason, led the Rams in interceptions in 03 and 04. Well, Dick Duran said it would be a blanket effort needed tonight. The offense has had a nice field goal drive, Jaws.
You know, I always say, Mike, points come out of the passing game. They also come out of kick returns and interception returns for touchdowns.
They came out of Dallas's passing game.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, people like to vote quickly online for what's going on. If you wanted to vote upset of the year in the NFL at the moment, this would be the leading candidate.
So tack on the 15 to the penalty, and it's a big game for Dallas. Romo bobbles the snap, gets it to Marion Barber III, And only a yard and a half there, Michelle Tafoya.
Mike, seriously, just moments ago, it's like the Dallas defense was standing along the sideline, chomping at the bit to get back on the field. Terrence Newman, DeMarcus Ware, Ken Hamlin, they were joking, getting each other fired up. Then they just stood there in stunned silence as Terrence McGee returned that kick, and every bit of air left their sails. The defense simply wilted and retreated to the bench. They've got to wait some more, guys.
Now, the converse of this, Michelle, Buffalo's defense is thin. They played on high emotion. They're going to play a long couple of series, and Dallas has been great in the second half on offense. Watch this, the night goes on. Romo, big ball for T.O. Goes up, brings it down, out of bounds. No catch, ruled incomplete. Now a discussion between the two officials, and confirmed incomplete. Jabari Greer, George Wilson on the coverage.
Excellent job by the officiating, communicating. One was looking for the push out. Another referee was looking at the feet. They did an outstanding job of being positioned to make the proper call. T.O. goes up, one in, one out. They did not call it a force out, consequently incomplete.
And that is the side judge, Jeff Lamberth, who came in and made the initial call. Number 103 there in your picture. And he was right on the money. Need to get to the Buffalo 47 for a first down. Jason Witten in the backfield next to Romo. Throw is incomplete for Owens. The Cowboys will punt.
Let's look at this for a second.
I'm
okay?
looking.
13 years between games when you host in a certain place, Buffalo. All the injuries on defense, all the defections, something we've not yet talked about, the terrible injury to Kevin Everett. A 1-4 start. They're supposed to be blown out here, totally blown out. They have the momentum, they have the crowd, they've got everything on their side. You can hear it everywhere in the stands.
Roscoe Parrish has a punt return for a touchdown. McBriar's a big kicker. They run into McBriar, no flag though. And his kick goes through the end zone, a touchback. So the kick is 65, I beg your pardon. The net's 35. Back in Buffalo, halfway through the quarter. First offensive snap for the Bills. Trent Edwards started 0 for 2. The rookie from Stanford, 16 of his last 18. Dangerous 50-50 ball brought in by Josh Reed in front of Jock Reeves. First down at the 30-yard line.
Mike, it was incredible. It's their first offensive snap in the second half. They came out with a 4-wide looking shotgun. Boy, very aggressive. Risky throw, but Josh Reed goes up and once again shows very strong hands, tearing the ball away.
Again, if you were not with us in the first half, Peerless Price, longtime a veteran receiver on this team, 7 catches on the year in the first 4 games. Disc surgery on his neck Friday, out for the season. So Reed, Evans, and Parrish are the 3 top receivers. Here's Marshawn Lynch with a run of a couple of yards. Lynch has 13 carries for 40 yards on the night. But the rookie quarterback's the story.
And he has been very calm. Watch a quarterback's feet. That'll tell you how he's playing. Watch Trent Edwards set up in the pocket. On balance. His feet are underneath him. That means you could snap the ball off. Rotates the hips around. Delivers the football accurately. You've got to see the field. Here he sees Robert Royal is covered. He's covered. Check it down. Marshawn Lynch, move the chains.
Second down from the 32. Edwards making his second National Football League start tonight. Lynch out of the backfield, couldn't handle the hot shot with Aiken Adele, the linebacker, waiting to hit him anyway. It's third down.
One of the things that you think about when you look at a guy like Trent Edwards is that nobody knows who's on the Buffalo Bills. They have become bottom feeders in the league for a long time. They lost all their stars. They've been looking for a replacement for Jim Kelly 4 years. This is his star-is-born moment if he can seize it. And this is Edwards' chance to say, hello, America, you may have come for Tony Romo. I'm Trent Edwards. Nice to meet you.
Stated very elegantly, Tom.
Well, English major.
Third down blitz picked up by Anthony Thomas. Royal, the tight end, is going to get the first down and more. Robert Royal in midfield The gain is 18, but let me tell you, Anthony Thomas in there for pass protection made it all happen.
Well, in the passing situations, Marshawn Lynch comes out, A-Train comes in for the blocking. And once again, you'll see a terrific job right there by Anthony Thomas. That's the key. Protect the quarterback. Check him out. There's Trent Edwards. You see the block by the A-Train. Watch Trent Edwards. Great poise, great balance. Does nothing downfield, checks it down, and then Robert Royal, with great individual effort, gets the first down. This Bills offense right now is in sync. That was a music group, I think.
Very nice. Boy band. We know that you like him.
And that's one of the things with Marshawn Lynch, a good receiver, not as strong in pass pro. That's why Thomas was in. He made the play. Now Lynch searching for space, has no game. It'll be second down. We've been joking around about 13 years since the Bills hosted Monday Night Football. And here's the rookie Trent Edwards. The last time the Bills hosted Monday Night Football.
Oh, my.
He's 10 years old, playing in the Y.
How great is that?
Playing a little basketball in the Y. Growing up in Los Gatos, California, an hour south of San Francisco, near San Jose. And then he went a half hour north to Stanford. Didn't win a game for some 98 weeks until last week when he was 22 of 28 against the Jets. And now these numbers
He
tonight.
should have left college early. If he knew how good he'd be in the pros, he wouldn't have wasted time in college where he went 0-7 last year.
It's a good week.
It's a team game, Tony.
Second down, pressure coming from Dallas. They're lighting him up. He got rid of it to Roscoe Parrish, who made the catch, makes people miss, gets to the 41, a yard shy of the first down.
Nathan Jones, a cornerback, comes off the corner on a blitz. This is a guy in his second start in the National Football League. He reads the blitz. He's clean. He's hot. Get rid of the football. Trent Edwards does. Incredible, boys.
Just 4 miles east of Lake Erie in Orchard Park, New York. It's a 15-minute drive to the Peace Bridge over to Canada, where it's Thanksgiving. The Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving, American or Canadian. Third and a couple, they try to reverse. Roscoe Parrish, does he have the wall to blockers? No. Good job by a speedy Cowboy defense. Penalty marker down as Parrish is down on a loss of a couple. Jay Ratliff, the nose tackle, and Jock Reeves, along with the safety Ken Hamlin, made the play. And a holding flag here on Buffalo. That if Dallas declines, it'll be fourth down at the 45.
Holding. Number 84, offense. Penalties decline. Fourth down.
As the tight end, Robert Royal, and the Bills will punt with Brian Moorman.
The call was a head scratcher to me. 3rd and 1, you want to sustain offense, keep your defense on the sideline, wear down that Bills defense, and they went for the jugular with a reverse play.
But they've been going against type all night long.
I'm not
it seems to be in their psychological profile of how to play this game.
Tonight's game, I would agree with you. But I'd say run that thing up inside. Or short pass.
That's what you learned in Buffalo. In the snow, but it's 80 degrees.
We drew plays in the snow in Buffalo.
Moorman has already dropped 8 punts inside the 20 this season. This one will be out of bounds. It's not going to be as good as the other one that was inside the 2. It'll be a little bit closer to the 20. Official stops and marks it at the 9. Some 91 yards for Tony Romo to work. No matter who you are or where you are, tonight you're rooting for Kevin Everett, as it has been the case for the last month. Kevin Everett injured in the opening game of the season against Denver, trying to make a tackle on special teams on Dominic Hickson, then of the Broncos. Dislocation between the 3rd and 4th cervical vertebrae. After 2 weeks in a hospital here in Buffalo, moved to Memorial Hermann Hospital in Houston. And those 85 Kevin Everett t-shirts with the proceeds of the sales going to spinal cord research are all over Orchard Park and Western New York. As Romo throws complete to Terrell Owens at the 21, gain of 11. And a first down. The news continues to be good, although not very specific on a regular basis from everybody around the Bills. That Kevin Everett in that hospital in Houston continues to make progress every day. It's far different than the initial diagnosis on the Monday afterwards. It looked like a very dire situation. Spoke to Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Bills, and he says, like Dick Duran and everybody around, Marv Levy before the game telling me how positive it is. It's still a long road, but every step has been forward and good so far. Romo loses his helmet, goes down, gains 4 yards. A penalty marker comes down as Romo was hit. We'll check the flag. Chris Kelsey was chasing after him.
I don't think his helmet just fell off.
That's why he came
Personal
off.
foul.
Pulled off.
Grabbing the back of the helmet. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Kelsey able to grab it. That's the second consecutive drive with a major foul against the Bills, moving the Cowboys down to the 40-yard line. So as they come back, let me just go back for 1 second on Everett. Dr. Andrew Cappuccino is the team physician for the Bills. Did an amazing job of cooling the core, getting his body temperature down to 92 degrees, and in many respects that could have helped save Kevin Everett's life, to give him a chance towards a future life with some normalcy in it. Marion Barber the game for 1 yard. It all became out of the research done by the Miami Project. Remember when Nick Bonacani's son Mark, playing at the Citadel, was paralyzed? Miami Project doctors did research on that, and MiamiProject.org can teach you more about that. Dr. Cappuccino happened to be at a seminar where that thought process was discussed. It's not part of protocol medically, but it doesn't do damage to the person. It's used in cardiac situations. They did it for Everett. The care here in Buffalo was unbelievable right away. And there are a lot of heroes in this story, as Kevin Everett is hopefully watching in Houston tonight, rooting for his Bills, as everybody around America roots for him.
We wish him well.
On 2nd and 8, here is Romo, dumping it to Barber. And Marion Barber takes it to the 45. First down, and here's Susie Colbert with more on Kevin Everett.
Well, Anthony Thomas is his closest friend on the team. They talk on the phone every day, and A-Train keeps him positive, motivated, makes sure he's working really hard in rehab. And tonight, A-Train told me that Kevin sounds great. Progress from day one, night and day. He's got a lot of movement. The motion is really coming around. He said the best part is that all their conversations have remained the same. They'll tease, they'll harass each other. Kevin's demeanor has never changed. They just want to get him back in the swing of things.
It's encouraging stuff, for sure. Good drive by Dallas. Romo going for the big play. Incomplete. It was intended for Patrick Creighton.
There is a bit of welcome irony in this story, in that one of the major individual funders of the Miami Project is Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills. To think that all of those years that he'd been contributing to this, and now perhaps by that kind of specific research, it saves the life of one of his players. You know, that's a good
It says a lot about Ralph Wilson as well.
And Dr. Barth Green and Dr. Dalton Dietrich, the people who are doing a lot of that research at the Miami Project, are helping save many lives beyond football. So check out their good deeds. To Barber, running right, through an arm tackle, spun down by DiGiorgio. A yard shy of the first down. We'll have 3rd and 1. And there's been a lot of snaps taken by this Bills defense. And we'll see if Dallas, with a big offensive line, can wear him down late 3rd and into the 4th.
Going into this particular game, the Bills had allowed 10 different drives of 10 plays or more. And Jaws, clearly, keep your defense out there, tire them out, leads to injury, already an injury-depleted defense.
No question about it. They've been on the field a lot, particularly in this 3rd quarter.
3rd and short. And Barber's done a lot of that 4th quarter damage as the play-action fake. Romo looked deep, covered, good comeback to the rookie fullback, Dion Anderson out of Connecticut. Tackled by George Wilson on the first down at the 19.
Nice job by Romo. They tried to get the ball deep to Terrell Owens, streaking down the sideline. He was not available. He checked it down to Dion Anderson. Excellent choice of where to go with the football. You'll see Romo here. Looks down the field for T.O. Not there. Little pump fake and checks it down to Anderson. You'll see T.O. come off the ball here. He knows he got a chance to get this ball, so he is hauling. But Greer's in good shape with the safety over the top. Romo with a nice read.
Good play by Anderson, making his 2nd career start for the injured Oliver Hoyt. At the back end of the quarter, Romo deflected by Angelo Crowell. And we'll have 2nd down coming up.
Beginning to see less quick pressure on Tony Romo. He's starting to get a little comfortable feel in the pocket, starting to move people, look people off, pump fake, move people around. When that starts to happen, that's when the defense breaks down and there are voids in the secondary. He's starting to manipulate the secondary much better in this 2nd half.
Barber. Stop. 33 plays run in that quarter, 26 of them by Dallas. Off we go to the fourth quarter from Orchard Park. These teams played a couple of good Super Bowls in number 27 and 28. From a Dallas perspective, from a Buffalo perspective, they were nights to forget. Tony Romo has had the night to forget after sterling numbers in the first 4 games. A big struggle here tonight. 4 interceptions. A couple of them going the distance for a touchdown. Also a kickoff return. The guy who idolizes Brett Favre needs to have a Favrean comeback here in the fourth quarter.
But not the Favrean comeback Brett had last night.
In field goal range, the quarter starts with 3rd and 9 at the 19. Romo picks up the snap, directs traffic, throws right at the first down mark, but incomplete. Incomplete. Jason Witten couldn't pick it up. We'll have a field goal attempt coming of about 36 yards. Kiwaki Thomas had the coverage.
You'll see Romo here, and on a low throw, receiver's got to get his numbers to the ground. He does, but Witten lets it just squeeze through between his rib cage and his elbow. It does touch the ground. Good call. Once again, the officials got the A game tonight, gentlemen.
Nick Folk beat out Martin Gramatica in the preseason. Good from 47, 29, and 37 to make it a 1-score game, 8-point game. Here in Buffalo, the Bills lead by 8, but listen to this. Bills have 2 interception returns, 1 kickoff return tonight, that by Terrence McGee. It's the second time in NFL history that a team has had 2 or more interception returns, 1 or more kickoff return for touchdown in the same game. Roscoe Parrish returned this kickoff to the 27 because McGee was playing defense a lot on the prior series. Here's Susie Colbert.
Well, Thurman Thomas was joking before the game that on this special night, Monday Night Football, and he got his Hall of Fame ring at halftime. Why did it have to be the Cowboys? What do you think now?
Well, you know, I'm glad it is the Cowboys. You know, we've always had a tough time against the Cowboys in any game that we've ever played, but this is a special night. I got my ring here, my family here. Jim Kelly's here, so, I mean, it's a special night. It's turning out to be a very, very nice night.
If you could only take one memory with you from your career, what would it be?
One memory, you know what, that I was able to go to the Hall of Fame as a Buffalo Bill. I mean, that's the best memory I can say out of anything. To go in there and be in the Hall of Fame as a Buffalo Bill.
There was so much great history with you guys. What's the feeling now?
You know, the feeling is that, you know, we have the management, we have the players that we can get back to that. With Marv Levy coming on board for the organization, we feel like, and Jim Kelly moving, living here, myself moving back, Steve Tasker, we think we have the organization and the players to move back, to get back to where we were before we all retired.
Great to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Susie. Their big receiver was Andre Reed. The unrelated Josh Reed had the last catch. And the guy trying to be the next great running back in Buffalo after Thurman Thomas, Marshawn Lynch, got the first down. Some of the highlights of Thurman. Only 1 year at the end of his career with Miami. All-time Bills leader in rushing yards, 11,938. Rushing touchdowns, 65. And overall touchdowns tied with Andre Reed. 5 straight Pro Bowls. Most valuable player of the league 16 years ago. I know that group of Bills lost 4 Super Bowls, but as time has gone on, we remember them almost more as 4-time consecutive AFC champs than 4-time consecutive Super Bowl losses. History has been quite kind to this team over the last 10 years. Edwards held onto it too long. Now we'll see the ground. Brought down by Jason Hatcher, the 3rd-round pick last year out of Grambling.
Mike, that was one of the few mistakes that Trent Edwards has made this evening. You got to have that clock in your head. You've got to sense the timing off, and Hatcher obviously comes down. Right now, get the ball out of your hands. Get rid of it. Check it down, or you're going to get hurt. Held onto the football too long.
And that was Duke Preston, who is in at right guard for Brad Butler. Butler injured his hip, a contusion in the first half, has not returned. And Preston, who was beat out by Butler in the preseason, shows us why that happened. Second and 20. Again, pressure. Edwards lost the football, but lucky to get it back at the 21-yard line. The Bills, or the Cowboys, need to come up with a big play, and DeMarcus Ware almost had it. A loss of 10.
One of the things that happens when you have a David and Goliath story is that occasionally Goliath shows up, which has happened on the last 2 plays to the guy playing the role of David tonight, Trent Edwards. When Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly and those guys were so great, and going to 4 straight is an amazing achievement, that was not a David and Goliath story. They were a great team. Tonight's story is different because the Bills have fallen so far in the last 10 years or so.
3rd and 29, screaming screen pass. Draw. Shovel pass. Same family. Anthony Thomas to the 30. And they'll kick it. I can call 3rd and 29.
That's the easy one. There aren't many plays for it, Mike. But, you know, I like the play select. It didn't work that series. But Steve Fairchild, the offense coordinator, is not hiding his quarterback. He's not saying, hey, we got an 8-point lead, let's run the football and punt. He's allowing his quarterback an opportunity to make plays. It didn't work out in that series, but he's giving him a chance.
Ken Hamlin helped make the tackle. He was shaken up, walks off under his own power. And now Patrick Creighton awaits Brian Moorman's punt. Pro Bowler kicked it 53 yards. From the 17, Creighton hemmed in and brought down at the 27-yard line. On New Year's Day here, 74,000 people will be here. They've sold it out to watch the Sabres and Penguins play an outdoor National Hockey League game here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Romo starts the drive from the 27. Once again to the fullback. A very busy but productive night for the rookie. Deion Anderson taking it to the 42-yard line. First down and a pickup of about 16.
All week long, people have been talking in the last few weeks about the Brett Favre comparisons to Tony Romo. We talked to Romo about them, and he said they were just dumb. You know, he said Brett Favre is on a whole other level for me. And he grew up in Wisconsin idolizing Brett Favre. If we get time later, talk about Romo. Even tonight, he's having fun. Not losing, but he likes being a quarterback.
Up to the air, they've been moving the ball effectively, and one more catch for Anderson, broken down in the open field by Angelo Crowell at the 47-yard line. That's a first down gain of 5.5.
One of the things he talked about was, remember last year, Jaws, when he botched the snap in the playoff game, and he said that people wondered, he even heard people say, do you think he'll ever be able to come back from that? And he said, if the worst thing that ever happens to me happens in a sporting event, I'll be just fine. You know, he said, you get back on the horse and you ride again.
He's a very grounded young man, and what we're seeing tonight, he also has amnesia. He had a horrible first half, throwing 4 interceptions. He's come back and he's throwing the ball very nicely. He's forgot about that first half.
And on second down, he makes one man miss, but lost the football again. And at the bottom of the pile, Buffalo tried to pull it under their arm. Aaron Schobel stripped it. They dig at the bottom. Bills say they have it. Fans go crazy. Buffalo has turned over Romo for the 5th time tonight.
This is what we like to call the trade a Rex Grossman game. He's had 4 picks. Now in a critical time, he fumbles the ball, and it's going the other way.
Buffalo ball at the 47. As he did in the first half, Terrell Owens has gone to the rally cap to try to bring the Cowboys back. But his quarterback, Romo, a fumble to go with his 4 picks. 5 turnovers to none for Buffalo. Marshawn Lynch pulled down by a horse collar by Roy Williams. He's the reason the rule came in. The horse collar Terrell Owens in Philadelphia the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, and then was fined a couple of weeks ago for a horse collar. The phone will be ringing with another fine for a horse collar, and add to it a flag.
That seems to be his move then.
He did it to Desmond Clark of Chicago 2 weeks ago and was fined $12,500 for it.
Face mask. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It looked like a horse collar to me, and that shot from the back.
Pretty clear to me.
And the Bills sideline is saying the same thing, reaching in, and that becomes a major penalty. There was a face mask on the play as well.
No question. See Marshawn Lynch coming to the outside. There's the horse collar right there. He absolutely.
And actually, a hit out of bounds as well. Could have called 3 fouls there. The difference being, and he still might be fined, even though not flagged for that call, that should be a 15-yard penalty in the first down, taking the Bills into field goal territory. And right now, a field goal will make it a 2-score game. So from the 41, it is Edwards. Throwing to Dwayne Wright, the rookie out of Fresno State, knocked out by Terrence Newman. The last time the Bills hosted Monday Night Football, 13 years ago, Wade Phillips coached the Denver Broncos, who wore their throwbacks on that night, and Thurman Thomas ran for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns as Buffalo won 27-20. It was during the Bills' glory days in the 90s in that 1994 season, but that was the first time they did not make the Super Bowl in those 4 straight years. They went 7-9 that year, losing their last 3 games. Wright still the back, and the rookie out of Fresno State, only 7 carries all year, back-to-back touches, and gets to the 35-yard line. It'll be second down.
Going back 13 years to the last time they hosted a game, the Bills have really fallen. In the decade of the 2000s, only 1 winning season, a 47-69 record in the 2000s. Marv Levy came back here to try to restore some of the former glory. You see Thurman Thomas tonight, Jim Kelly tonight, but as Rick Pitino would say, they're not walking through that door right now. You've got to find new players. They're on the verge of scoring the biggest win probably in a decade.
Agreed. From the 35, Edwards. Pass caught by Josh Reed, who is hit hard. And they're giving it forward progress way up there near the 27-yard line, right by the yellow line. And this is going to be close to the first down where the forward progress will be marked. They're going to measure. And while they measure, Tony, it brings up that point you're talking about. Here you have the Cowboys, who are one of the richest franchises, not just in the NFL, where they are number 1, but one of the wealthiest franchises in all sport worldwide. You have Dallas, and on the opposite side, it's a Buffalo team that a decade ago really had to go to a regional philosophy. A quarter of their season ticket holders are from Canada, at a half-hour drive across the Peace Bridge, or Rochester, an hour down the thruway, as you well know. First down.
They've become a small franchise where when they went to 4 straight, even though they were small in where they played, they were a big franchise that loomed in the league, and now they've sunk down.
And the question becomes, Ralph Wilson's going to turn 89 in a couple of weeks. He has said, and it raised some eyebrows around here this summer, that when he passes on, his wife will not run the franchise. He's not going to pass it to his daughters. There'll be a huge, nearly 45% inheritance tax value. So the question of this franchise surviving in Buffalo becomes an every decade issue. So it truly is David against Goliath in many ways. Marshawn Lynch to the 13. First down, Buffalo.
The Bills caught the Dallas Cowboys in a blitz. They got that quick hitter in there, and Marshawn Lynch was off to the races. Real nice job right there. You see the big fella pushing to the outside, that being Langston Walker, opened up that lane for Marshawn Lynch.
If you're going to win a game, you might want to beat an undefeated team in the first time you're hosting a Monday night game in 13 years. You might want to get all the stars aligned. And as you know, Jaws, I thought they had no chance, and you were with them all the way.
Thank you, Tony.
Sure.
The snap will take us inside of 7 minutes. Play action for Edwards. The rookie can't make a mistake down here. Gets out of the tackle box, throws it past the line of scrimmage, out of bounds, where nobody can catch it. Incomplete.
Let's talk a little bit about Dick Duran before the game the other day. He said of Edwards, he's got to play even better for us than he did against the Jets for us to have a chance to win. He said, and that's a tall order. We've got to get open, we've got to protect him, and we have to finish. If he gets a chance, meaning Edwards, he's got to do it. Jaws, you give him a passing grade so far.
No question. We've talked about Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly. Look who we have out there right now. We have a couple rookies in Trent Edwards and Marshawn Lynch. Edwards, 23 of 29, big night.
And has not turned it over. Lynch seeking an opening. He spun away from Anthony Spencer and got the hammer dropped on him. They're going to have third down coming up here. They can get a first down by the 3-yard line.
To be fair, we all thought that Dick Duran was not the most optimistic fellow coming into this game.
Wait, you thought that?
No, he said of Dallas, I'm not sure they have much fear coming into this game. He said this will be really tough. Those guys are hot. They're a big play offense. They've got it all. Maybe he was, suckering us.
He was setting you up, Tony.
Well, then he did a heck of a job.
Right.
Anthony Thomas is the back down here, very much in field goal range at the 11. Thomas blocks Roy Williams. Edwards throws an interception. Terrence Newman has a convoy. Edwards trying to chase him down. Lee Evans trying to chase him down. And they get to Newman. The ball comes out. It is ruled still live. has not been whistled dead. Dallas recovers inside the 16-yard line. DeMarcus Ware, a piece of that, as Edwards turns it over for the first time, and the Cowboys are back in business.
Well, you can't make this mistake. You can't throw late to the outside. Back to the inside was the throw. Terrence Newman read it perfectly. That was a horrible mistake by a rookie quarterback.
Try not to let me get so carried away that I give the game away with 6 minutes to go, and then the kid throws that particular bad pass, and now the Cowboys right back in it.
Terrence Newman's interception return was 70 yards. Lee Evans did a great job to chase him down. It was a fumble, not challenged, not reviewed. 8 yards gained on the fumble. Dallas takes over in the red zone. If they score a touchdown, you would go for 2 and try to tie the game. A run with Julius Jones. No gain. Tackled by Dante Whitner, the free safety. I want you to watch the effort by Evans, who may have saved a touchdown, tracking down Terrence Newman. Newman had missed the first 2 games of the season with that right foot injury. The ball was held properly, but it was shades of the Super Bowl run.
Don Beebe
getting Leon led. Right?
That's it. Great effort by Lee Evans.
Buffalo's defense put on the spot again. Romo's been intercepted 4 times. 5 times. Intercepted again by John DeGiorgio. And the middle linebacker comes down the sideline. Unbelievable.
This is bizarre.
It ties a Dallas record. 5 interceptions thrown in a game. Last time done by Troy Aikman. This one by middle linebacker John DeGiorgio.
Dare I say it, it's not pizza, it's DeGiorgio.
He's going to get a lot of pizza. Good pizza in Buffalo, too.
Another ball.
Another ball.
Need a new bag.
It's too stuffed.
Woody's
They
every
can't
room in the
close
bag.
Ball bag.
5:21 left. Bills need a sustaining drive to sustain their chance for the upset. It's a 2-yard run. Let's go back and look at the 5th pick.
Right there is the linebacker that makes the play. The pizza man, as Tony would say.
DeGiorgio out of Saginaw Valley State. Small college in Michigan, and again only playing because of the injuries. And as mentioned, it ties a Cowboys single-game record with the 5 picks and then the 1 fumble lost, making it the toughest night in Tony Romo's 15 National Football League starts. Second and late, 8. Here is Lynch into the waiting arms of Ryan, I beg your pardon, into the arms of Stephen Bowen out of Hofstra. That's flipping the script. Wow. Best turnover ratio in the NFL this year and a -5 here tonight. 6 turnovers Dallas, 1 Buffalo.
Yeah, welcome back to Philadelphia. I'm thinking Philadelphia. Welcome back to Buffalo.
You don't even know where you live anymore.
It's a key play, though.
You're right.
Dallas can stop here. They're going to get the ball back with plenty of time and a full complement of timeouts. It's 3rd and 8. The pressure is picked up. Edwards' throw is incomplete. Intended on that far side for Josh Reed. So Dallas goes 3 and out. The incompletion stops the clock. And Dallas will get the ball back with yet another opportunity.
But they're not going to get it back probably at around the 20 where they got it the last time. They're going to have to go a long distance to score.
Very strange ball game, but wow, is it entertaining.
Patrick Creighton awaits Brian Mormon's kick. Doesn't even go back. 59-yard kick, 39-yard net. The Cowboys take over at the 20, and John Anderson takes over now with a Sports Center 30 at 30. And we'll have post-game not just from here in Orchard Park, but downstate New York at Yankee Stadium as well. So we'll have a great Sports Center for you. And after that, all the NFL highlights to wrap up Week 5 of NFL Primetime with Trey Wingo and the gang. So a lot to do tonight here on ESPN. Romo drive starts from the 20. This play is killed by a pre-snap flag on the Cowboys for movement.
False start. Number 75, offense. 5-yard penalty still. First down.
Washington was very impressive yesterday. We'll see the Giants on Monday night against Atlanta. Philadelphia, or against in Atlanta, that's right. Philadelphia off a bye week. So if the Redskins win, or Dallas loses here tonight, the Redskins would be a half game back, and we tighten up the NFC East.
Giants have won 3 in a row, so they have won 3 in a row, have they not, the Giants?
That is
correct.
correct.
The defense has gotten a lot better.
And of course, Washington's playing very well. The Eagles need to come around.
And the Giants, who we see next Monday night in Atlanta against the Falcons, would be within a game of the NFC East.
This crowd is into it. They're making it difficult for the O-line of Dallas.
Romo's pass to Patrick Creighton is complete. Big, heavy hit on Creighton by McGee, DeGiorgio, and Butler at the 27-yard line. Well, this Buffalo crowd for years, even though at the old Rock Pile, Ron, where you went to games, War Memorial Stadium back in the 60s, the Jack Kemp, Paul McGuire.
You got it.
Buffalo Bills teams. They were great. And these fans, you know, they got their Sabres, their Bills. They've always looked for that championship team, always let down. There's that complex of people always picking our city here, much like there is in Cleveland, but they have been great tonight. Marion Barber, first down run to the 34. Dante Whitner holding on, keeping Barber in bounds, keeping the clock turning inside 3 minutes.
And Marion Barber is a tough runner. He's a finisher. 37% of his carries have been in the fourth quarter, usually with the lead. The tough runner milks the clock. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys need an explosive play.
We talked about this last week. Teams work on this all the time. From your own 20, inside of 4 minutes, full complement of timeouts, go down the field and score to tie or win the game. Romo almost intercepted again. That one probably wouldn't have been his fault. It was through Marion Barber's hands. Terrence McGee let a would-be 6th interception slide by.
You'll see right through the hands, right into the gut of Terrence McGee. Couldn't hold on as Marion Barber let it slide through his hands first.
Do you remember Ed Luther of the Chargers in '83?
Yes, I do.
I don't know if Ed's watching, but Ed was almost joined in the Monday Night Football record book because Luther threw 6 INTs. That's the most on Monday Night Football.
I'm so old I remember Martin Luther, but not Ed Luther.
Second down. Romo to Witten, his security blanket. Jason, who had 6 catches in 3 different games this year, has his 7th of the night. It's a gain of 7. It's a first down as we spin down toward the 2-minute warning.
First and 10. At Dallas 46-yard line.
Going to snap in before the 2, setting up a screen to Barber. Marion Barber knocked down at the 47-yard line with 1:57 to go. So Dallas, 47 yards to go. Then they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to force overtime in Buffalo. One of the 3 remaining unbeatens, with New England waiting for a would-be unbeaten matchup on Sunday. But Dallas needs to score 8 to get there. Romo on the move, chase down, completes to Witten at the 37-yard line. The pressure came from Anthony Hargrove just off his 4-game suspension, violating the league's substance abuse policy.
Once again, Tony Romo outside the pocket, moving away from the rush and throwing the football accurately. This is the essence of quarterbacking right now. 2-minute drill. You control the offense. 3 timeouts, $1:30 to go. This is where legends are made.
Romo, who's had an awful night, to Patrick Creighton. Went up high and got taken down. It allowed him to get out of bounds. Terrence McGee meeting him up there. Taking the ball down to the 30-yard line, or 25, first down.
There should be no panic right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Tony Romo very calm in the huddle. Jason Garrett calling the plays right now because Creighton did go out of bounds. You've got a lot of time left, a minute 22. You have 3 timeouts left and 27 yards to go. Still a lot of time to use the entire playbook.
Romo has not been sacked tonight. To the running back, Barber. To the 20-yard line, down there. Dallas continuing to run the clock down. It'll be inside a minute. Garrett calls the plays for his head coach, Wade Phillips. The owner, Jerry Jones, hanging on every snap.
Some anxiety in that face, don't you think, with Jerry Jones?
T.O.'s only caught a couple of balls here tonight. Been thrown at 8 times. Romo, pressured, eludes the sack. Throws incomplete for Whitten. 3rd and a couple. The pressure coming in the middle from Kyle Williams out of LSU.
Excellent job by Romo in the pocket. You'll see the mush rush coming from the Buffalo Bills, not allowing Romo to get out of the pocket, keep him contained in the pocket. He used his strength to escape the sack.
Terrell Owens, bottom of the screen. Romo throws to Whitten, complete. Took a shot at the 14. First down, timeout, Wade Phillips. Dallas needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The Cowboys trying to get to a 50-50 proposition if they score a touchdown. The league average the last 2 years, 51% converting 2-point conversions. This year, exactly 50%. But first, they need to get in the end zone.
You know, knowing Tony Romo like I do, spending time with him the last couple of days, he probably went over to Jason Garrett and said, get the 2-point play ready. We're going to score here. Got to have that kind of confidence.
Watch Whitten, who's been great tonight. He lines up to Romo's right. Goes left to Barber. In the open field, Barber made one man miss and another, and he spun to the 3 for a first down with a half-minute left. Dallas 2 timeouts. Using one. Well, no. Are they using one here? Yes, they finally stopped it with 24 seconds remaining. Pretty much game of the year in the NFL regular season to this point. Buffalo 24, Dallas 16. Dallas has the ball at the Bills 4. Terrell Owens is so big in the red zone, goes up and makes plays. 2 catches out of 9 passes thrown to him tonight. Deafening crowd here in Western New York. Try to help the defense. Dallas has 4 shots from the 4. T.O. is going to be bottom of your screen. Timeout taken by Buffalo. The Bills have their full complement of timeouts, so they'll use them for defensive advantage in this situation.
People started lining up to get into this stadium, Jaws, yesterday, right?
Yes,
they were out here yesterday.
That's not an overstatement. That's legit.
They were out here yesterday. Whatever they paid for their tickets, whatever money they may have lost by not going to work today, not one of them has left. Not one has left, and each person here is getting his money's worth.
With congratulations to the Cleveland Indians who have eliminated the Yankees and moved to the ALCS against Boston. We welcome those of you who've tuned over. A great football game, NFL game of the season. Buffalo has done something that's only happened once before in the history of the league. 2 interception returns and 1 kickoff return for a touchdown. That's why they're up on Dallas, joining Indy and New England as unbeaten. The Patriots play in Dallas on Sunday. Dallas trying to keep the game alive. First and goal from the 4. Romo throws, and the touchdown is scored by Patrick Creighton. And now a two-point conversion to try and tie the game.
That was a great throw by Tony Romo. That one had some sizzle on it. You'll see Romo once again matriculate the coverage, looks off and then squeezes it in. Nice job of opening the lane to Patrick Creighton.
After 5 interceptions on the night for Romo, equaling a Dallas Cowboy record, on that drive he was 9 of 11. The Bills couldn't get a pass rush to him. They played a little softer coverage and back, and those throws got him down the field, down the field, and now have him in a position to get a 2 and tie the game.
That would certainly be what you want from a quarterback, was have 5 interceptions to be able, in the last minute and a half, to go down the field and score.
Yeah, and amnesia. I think that's such a key component, Tony. We sometimes forget about that. You're going to have days where things don't go well. You got to come back.
There's a timeout, Dallas. So those of you who are watching the baseball game, let me get you updated on how this wild night has transpired. The Buffalo Bills special teams and defense have been the story. Their Pro Bowl punter Brian Moorman ran for a first down on the first series, and then when that drive petered out, pinned Dallas inside the 2. After 2 runs that gained nothing, Romo threw an interception to George Wilson, a former wide receiver, making his first safety start. 7-0 Buffalo. A little bit later, Chris Kelsey, the tip, the peck for the touchdown. It was 17-13 at this point. Early third quarter. Bills didn't run a play in the third quarter. Then this kickoff return by Terrence McGee, 103 yards, made it 24-13. In the interim, Dallas has had a couple of opportunities that have been Romo interceptions, but he just led an 80-yard drive, and now the ball's on the 2, and Dallas is going for 2 to tie the game. And 2-point conversions in the NFL this year, 50-50 proposition. 10 have been tried, 5 have been made. And the biggest upset of the season comes down to this play for Buffalo.
And the Cowboys go empty. No one in the backfield. 5 wide receiver look.
Romo's got it. He throws for Terrell Owens, who has it taken away by Jabari Greer. Now, the game is not over because Dallas can certainly try an onside kick, recover it, get downfield. They have no timeouts. But a huge play has put Buffalo in position for the huge upset win.
Jabari Greer just stays with it. It looked like T.O. was going to go up and take it down at its highest point. Jabari Greer stayed with it. He saw T.O. in his hands. He rips the ball out. What an unbelievable play by Greer.
Who is essentially the third option at cornerback. Greer is the AFC Defensive Player of the Week off his performance against the Jets last week. Jason Webster and Ashton Yabodi were injured, giving Greer the chance to start. Jerry Jones thought his big-ticket receiver was going to pull down that 50-50 ball, but Greer made the play, and Wade Phillips, former Bills coach, might see a disappointing night on his return to Western New York. But again, there's still time. An onside kick attempt is coming as you look at Ralph Wilson Jr., the owner of the Bills.
That's the question. Is Buffalo, a trip to Buffalo, going to be unkind once again to Wade Phillips, who lost his job here some years back?
Onside kick, the big bounce comes. It is a live ball and recovered first by the Cowboys, and they have it at the 47-yard line. They would need here about 12 yards. They have no timeouts left. Tony Curtis, third-string tight end, makes the recovery. Discussion going on with the officials, so let's wait a second.
But no time came off the clock.
That's what they're talking about. Sam Hurd got in there to make the initial contact and break up the ball. A terrific bounce on the kick by the rookie
Please
kicker.
set the game clock to 18 seconds.
That was a long couple of seconds from the touch by Hurd to that recovery by Curtis. But they're at the 47, and you'd figure they'd have to get out. We saw Folk in practice make some long field, or in pregame, hit some long field goals. So this game's still alive.
I'd wondered what happened to Tony Curtis. I'm glad to see he's out there playing football.
The
Do
Cowboys
you believe they have another chance?
Yeah, the Cowboys have no timeouts left. That's critical. So pretty much with 18 seconds to go, you can take one shot in the middle of the field. You usually get down around 13, 14 seconds. You can realign and spike the football.
And what kind of leg does Folk have? Now, pregame, you always have to take with a grain of salt. There's no rush. It's relaxed. But here is Folk's leg from 58 yards in pregame.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, if you're Buffalo, you have to be thinking, what do we have to do to win this game? How many more chances are we going to get? We've intercepted the guy 5 times. He has fumbled once. We've run back kickoffs. We've run back interceptions. We dodged it when Terrell Owens, when the ball wasn't high enough for him to totally snatch it out of the air. And still, there's another chance for Dallas to win.
Now, the play is being reviewed. Was there an illegal touch? Did the ball go 10 yards before the contact made by Sam Hurd? It must get to the 40 where that yellow line is. Right at the 40, even with the 40-yard line, would be 10 yards. It's the same principle as touching the goal line. Get it exactly 10.
From the angle we saw, it looked like it went over.
Here is one more look at that. Hurd's first touch right there appears to be beyond the 40, and you have to remember that is not exactly down the 40-yard line, but it's pretty darn close. So
if that's all they have to look at,
exactly,
they're going to say that it went beyond the 10 yards necessary.
And again, this is not a challenge. Being in the last 2 minutes of a half or overtime, it is automatically called down by replay from up above.
And as good as Bobby April's special teams for the Bills have played tonight, that special teams play really hurts.
So it's funny when you're looking at what yard line it was at and a special teams play to finish. Of course, Wade Phillips, when he was here in Buffalo, involved in what most call the Music City Miracle.
Not him.
He calls it the Music City mistake, as everyone in Western New York does.
Ruling on the field stands, the touching was legal more than 10 yards. Ruling on the field stands, Dallas football.
That was the 1999 AFC wildcard game where that happened, the loss to Tennessee. It eventually led 1 year later to Phillips firing. And as we said, it just needed to go exactly 10 yards and break the plane of the 40-yard line, similar to the goal line, and it did. So Dallas, with no timeouts, has a chance to get in field goal range for a game-winning field goal. It's 24-22. Four-man rush. Romo throws. It is no signal yet. Caught at the 25-yard line by Terrell Owens. Caught by Owens. Clock running down. Cowboys need to get the ball to stop it. Down to 2 seconds and 1. And Dallas able to get the timeout with 1 second remaining.
Prior to the snap, we will review the previous catch.
Okay, the catch is going to be reviewed first, and it was incomplete. But that means we put time back on the clock.
And it goes back and they get another shot.
Yes, from when the incompletion happened. Let's take a look here as he has it. The first angle looked like it squirted out. Got it there. Ball coming out there. That's
Ball's down.
No catch.
Ball's down. Illegal catch. Did not catch it.
And that is a great job upstairs by the replay booth to buzz down to Pete Morelli before the snap. That is such a hair trigger call. And I was holding because there was no signal on the field from the officials.
You can see this very closely right now. T.O. has his hands on the side of the ball. The ball comes out. It's laying on the ground. Right there.
So they would have to determine how much time is left.
Correct.
Put the ball back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, that most telling replay that we showed you earlier was just showed on the big screen here, and that was the reaction of the fans. Now, if the ball is back at the original line of scrimmage, we'll determine how much time is left. You'll still be in a no timeout situation.
And you probably would have run off, would you have run off enough time so that you wouldn't have time to spike the ball and you'd have to pass it and get it out of bounds?
Yes, if the time is run down, correct. Tony Romo is down speaking with the two officials who were involved in the call. near where Pete Morelli is reviewing the play. So Tony's way down by the 23-yard line. I'm going to give you one more big screen look at it.
Real close this one. You see T.O., the hands go down. He has the ball right there. As he comes down, the ball hits the ground. Then you'll see it kind of squeeze out underneath him where he lost control of the football.
A bizarre sight, guys. Brad Johnson, the backup quarterback, put his helmet on, ran out on the field to talk to the officials. They're trying to say we did get the spike down before you killed the play for replay from above. The question is, when did they get buzzed by Howard Slavin, Dean Blandino, and Terry Sullivan, who were upstairs working the replay booth tonight?
I've been around pro football for 34 years now as a player, as an analyst, and this is one bizarre night. Is there a full moon in Buffalo tonight?
There is not.
Tony, I thought you could look up in the sky.
But it is
Help me
80
out here.
degrees in
All right.
Buffalo in the first week in October, and that counts more than a full moon.
Okay, here comes Pete Morelli with a card in hand, which means in likelihood we're going to have to replace the ball and the time and the whole situation, discussing it with the officials involved. And here's your call.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground. It's an incomplete pass. Please set the game clock for 13 seconds. Second and 10 on the 47.
13 seconds, if you couldn't hear it. 13 seconds. Dallas still might have time to get some yardage and spike the ball. Not a lot. They can do something quick, really quick, just to give them one shot at a 56, 57-yard field
Very
goal.
difficult. Remember, there were 18 seconds when that play started. It got down to 1 second. 17 seconds ran off the clock. It's going to be very difficult to throw the football inbounds, and get up and settle the offense down to spike it.
Because remember, they have no timeouts. T.O. will be bottom of your screen. Patrick Creighton to the top. Romo throws complete to Barber, who gets out of bounds at the 43. And from here, you're looking at a 60-yard field goal with 7 seconds left. Do they try to take one more little 4-yard bite out of it?
You have to take your shot to get it 5 or 6 more yards. It's too long a field goal right now. You'd be looking at 61 yards, maybe even a little bit more. You could throw a quick sideline route here. There's 7 ticks left on the clock.
Again, Nick Folk, a rookie. His career-long make. Cowboys have 10 on the play clock. Got to get moving here at the line. And Romo throws for Creighton, who caught it at the 35. From there, it's a 52-yard field goal. 2 seconds remaining. And very good play calling by Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator, in his first year in that job.
The only thing you want to do is give your kicker a chance. This is a good chance.
You saw what happened yesterday. You saw all the long kicks yesterday. Right. All season long, the long kicks to have won games. He's got a chance.
Yeah, no man coverage up there to deter that route. Folks' career long in college is 52. This is 53 for the win. Nick Folk is online. Is it long enough? The Cowboys win. But no, a timeout called by Buffalo. They pulled a Mike Shanahan moment and called for time before the kick.
Prior to the snap, Buffalo called the timeout. Prior to the snap, Buffalo called timeout. Don't hit me.
Don't hit me. So Mike Shanahan did this to the Raiders 3 weeks ago. The Raiders returned the favor to Cleveland 2 weeks ago. And it's one of those gray areas where you wait till the very last second. The coach can call a timeout, and right next to him, Dick Duran says, you ready? You ready? I'm going to give you... Go. Timeout. Go.
Wow, what a call by Dick Duran. He has been stoic all day waiting for that one, Tony.
It's a great call, and you know what? It's a terrible rule. It's a terrible rule.
It isn't. No,
yes,
it
of course
isn't.
it is.
Why?
Yeah, because
Why?
You do this It's just nuts to be able, when the ball is just about to be snapped, to be able to call that time. They have to change
strategy.
that rule.
It's strategy.
It's within the rules. I'm saying it's a terrible rule. Is he going to kick it again? What do you think, Mike? Is he going to get
another
it again?
Timeout. Again for the win. Again from 53 yards. This kick is online again and again. It is good, and the Cowboys stun the Bills 25-24. A remarkable game in Buffalo.
What do you have to do to win if you're Buffalo? Everything went their way, and not this.
The flag is after the play. You heard Pete Morelli say that the field goal is good. Nick Folk with the "that's all folks" moment from 53.
This is like last year when Arizona lost to Chicago at the end. What did Arizona have to do to win? What did Buffalo finally have to do to win? It was not to be. Unbelievable. 5 interceptions, a recovered fumble.
Stroked it beautifully. T.O. very excited. Wow, what a rally by the Dallas Cowboys.
What are the odds that rookie kicker is going to do that twice in a row? From career distance, twice in a row.
Tony Romo throws 5 interceptions tonight, but becomes the first Cowboy quarterback ever to have 3 straight 300-plus yard passing games. And yes, we won the game.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones and Michael Irvin in there. Here's Michelle Tafoya with Tony Romo. Michelle.
Okay, Tony, what's going through your mind during both of those field goal attempts?
I was just hoping he'd make it. He got me out of the doghouse tonight, and I played pretty poor tonight, but our team's very resilient, and the guys, they stuck with me, and they stuck together, and just a great job battling back.
First half, 4 interceptions. What was going through your mind at that point?
Really, it was 4?
Yes, it was. Then there was one more in the second half, just for the record.
I thought there was about 7 in the first half. You know, a couple of those are just, one was just I don't even know. I played poorly. I mean, the bottom line is I put our team in a hole early on, and they did a great job of digging me out, and I just thought they rallied, and God, they've got a great bunch of guys in there. I tell you what, it's awesome.
So how did you keep yourself from, looking down and keeping your head up? I remember the Bill Parcells 10 Commandments. You've got to, no matter what you do out there, look your guys in the eye and be able to play. How did you manage it?
You either want the ball at the end of the game or you don't. And despite everything that happened tonight, you play long enough. Obviously, those things, you hope to never throw that many picks, but shoot, I guess it's going to happen to the best of them at some point. And I was just lucky enough for us to come out with a win tonight. And just keep your head on, you keep fighting. If you get the ball at the end of the game, you try and help your team win.
This is an unbelievable game, and I hate to even look forward, but now you guys are 5-0, and you play New England next week on a short week. How do you overcome the emotion of tonight to get ready?
It won't be hard to overcome the emotion. I mean, that'll be a big one next week as well. But guys, it's a tough place to play. This crowd tonight was fantastic. They were real ready, and they gave us some trouble out there. But this team is resilient. Like I said, it's just we've got a great bunch of guys, and they fought hard tonight.
Congratulations, Tony.
Thanks, appreciate it.